What's up, everybody? Anthony here, 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗖𝗎, Tales from the Dark Side, episode 44, is it? I do this every week. I always forget it. I write it down. You know how it goes, guys. You know how it goes. We got a kind of a big panel tonight. We have a couple maybe coming in shortly. Let's start, man. We got a big panel, man. We got Will, my man. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here. Dude, that intro. Dude, that was really, really nice. That might be the best one you've made thus far, which is saying something because you've made some pretty damn good ones, even for other people. So, man, dude, that was really cool.
Thank you. That's something I've been working on for a little while.
Yeah, that was badass, man. But yeah, happy to be here, dude. Good to talk some D23 and whatever else we get into. So maybe some fun stuff. So, yeah, man, happy to be here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, of course. And Desi, welcome back, my man.
Dude, glad to be back. This is an amazing panel. I can't believe I'm part of an intro. That was awesome. Again,
hey, man. Thanks, brother.
I got to agree with Will. So happy to be here. There's a lot to talk about. D23. Let's go.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go clockwise here. Joao, man, big brother, my man. Thank you for being able to join us all the way across the world, man. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. Amazing intro, by the way. You are getting good with iMovie.
I don't know what the hell that is, but
it's a basic software to edit on Mac. Thank you for having the amazing panel. And yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you're here. And Denobi, my man.
If they only knew the amount of labor and rendering to pull off a 15-second intro, because I sympathize. I understand. Just when you had mentioned earlier on masking, I go, yeah, I know how to do all that. I just don't anymore.
It's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work. It sure is out, but killer though. Yeah, salute 50 points. Pleasure to be here, Anthony.
Hell yeah. And Mario should be coming soon. Brother Cousins may or may not be able to attend tonight, so if he does show up, he does show up. If he doesn't, well, we understand. So, anyway, I'm going to run through the chat real quick, guys, because I know Will does not have a lot of time. So we're going to try to get in to some things. So you can just hashtag blame Will for my speed here. So I'm going to try to run through Bob Dylan. What's up, dude? Insane One, Ashley Chase, Dolkinator's up in here, Beskar Kid. Who else do we got in here tonight? Mark Attack. Blitz, what's going on, my friend? Who else is in here? Looking through everybody. CT603, Lewis Labitz. Thank you guys for coming in. Absolute Irwin as well. If I miss anybody, Sean Smith, what's up, my dude? Sean Braden's up in here. I'm surprised he's awake. I'll just click him quick as we move along. He's watching UFC apparently this evening. Reds Talentino, what's going on? Eric as well. If I miss anybody here, my apologies. Bruce, what is good? Doc Smizzle in the house, as well as Christian Detour, man, my man. What is going on, man? Thank you so much. Let's see who else we got up in here. Patton as well. Awesome intro. Thank you, my friend. Who else? Guys, AJ Grusa, what's going on, dude, as well? We got Will up in here. He's on the panel and in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that is the way to go. And everybody else who is coming in and coming through, thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I mean, so we were going to talk about some other stuff, and then all this Disney stuff happened. So I guess we could probably get into. Well, first of all, did you guys check everything out that happened today?
Not everything, but most of everything.
I think so. I'm not even sure. There's so much.
There was a lot. I saw the big things. I feel like the big ones.
There was, I felt like, and I've talked about this before, right? I even said it, I think a few days ago. I was like, Disney's all about cranking out that content, man, that just consume, and today it was like, that was the very definition of it, right? I mean, I think we got dude, there's so much stuff. And it's funny because, some of it looks pretty good. Some of it, maybe not, but all I keep seeing is Hot Toys. And everything I was looking, I was like, oh man, well maybe they'll make this, or maybe they'll make that, and stuff like that. So I mean, we can bring it up. I was waiting for Mario; he should be here any minute. But so this is just kind of this was from Collider. They just kind of put everything together here of everything. I think this was the newer. Did you guys watch this new Andor trailer that dropped today. This is a new one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought so. I wonder if I full screen this. See, I got it muted, so we should be good. But we can kind of like look through some of this. I'm thinking, dude, obviously we're going to get a Cassian Andor, right?
Yeah. Pause every 5 to 10 seconds, Anthony, so that the Disney bots don't flag you for copyright. They'll typically will release it for you, but you don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah, you don't. Usually if I hit the audio, it's cool, but yeah, we'll give some pauses.
Yeah.
So we had Saw Gerrera right here, right? I mean, you think, what do you guys think about that? I mean, is this a possibility or damn, I'm trying to pause it.
That character has been in so many things, right? You would figure you'd get a Saw Gerrera, but you never know, man. It's Hot Toys.
I know, right? Because Wong's been in like 8 things. We don't have a Wong.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't,
Or Han.
Right,
Yeah.
true.
One Han or two Hans, but
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
but isn't he a terrorist though in this
Well,
story? His character is a terrorist. He is a Star Wars terrorist.
Yes.
yeah, but I mean, we could still get a we can get a terrorist Star Wars figure, right?
Yeah, Darth Vader's probably much worse. So
Yeah, maybe, right? Maybe. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, but obviously we're gonna get
lies.
deception. I mean, we're gonna get a Cassian Andor, obviously. Realistically, I'm just kind of like, so I was just skimming through to see what all maybe, trooper wise, some of these are like blink and you miss it in a lot of these trailers, right? I doubt we'll get like that guy right there, other than the main character probably, unless we see some more interesting characters, right? Like I don't know who these guys are, but we'll probably not.
I don't think Hot Toys will go that deep.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't like. Well,
Force Man 1, Force Man 2.
Right. Like, well, I don't know if they're like, are they significant? Like, is this girl right here significant?
Right. Got more Death Troopers. They do
Oh yeah,
and they're not gold.
No. Yeah, these are specialists, aren't they?
I'm hoping they don't go bonkers on releases on this. I know Black Series for Hasbro is probably going to make every character that gets flashed for more than 2 seconds, but I just at this point I almost want to just raise like the blast shields here and really go in with a very stern feel, because there's just a lot. I mean, they tease this, then they tease like another Toontown adventure with Jedi or something with Dooku.
We'll talk about that too. Oh yeah. So they're not, so Hot Toys, that's how I'm looking at it, right? Like there's so much that we'll just talk about tonight, so there's no way that they're gonna do all of this. But Mario, man, what's up, dude?
What's happening, everybody?
What's cracking, my man?
Just some Death Trooper Specialist reissues. That's it.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the D23 stuff that's dropped, and
yeah, man, yeah, some cool stuff, interesting shit that's coming out. I just got back from DCA California Adventure just to go see if there's any Spider-Man over there. They're not, so it's cool, it's fine. But yeah, man, it was cool hanging out for a little bit. Juicy Death Troopers right there.
Oh, the specialist, dude.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
Well, yeah, there's no question, right?
Yeah, it'll probably happen. Yeah.
Black Chrome too. Come on, let's do it.
Make it go.
Yeah. It'd be the second time we've gotten Death Troopers. I don't think we're gonna.
It'd be like the third, right? Fourth.
This will be the third time.
Because we got Mando also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
technically fourth if you want to count the Chrome version.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about these guys? These look like Mud Trooper armors.
Sort of.
I mean, sort of, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I think that is a Mud Trooper.
that is the Mud Trooper outfit. Yeah, it's just clean. It's the clean version. So
they just have riot shields.
They're black instead of like green and
yeah,
brown and shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this may be possible. We get some of these dudes with riot shields, riot troopers, right?
Riot Patrol.
I mean, like, the more realistic.
Riot troopers. That's
I'm actually right. You're right. This can versus the. I just don't. I mean, they've milked it multiple times already with the Death Trooper. I just don't. This I can see though, because it would require different paint application. So they already have the R&D on the molds, on the helmet and the chest armor. So
yeah, like
just
the
see
Star
the
Wars
shields.
SWAT team.
Oh, see, you blink and you miss them, guys. There's 2 frames here too.
These are
Clones.
Yeah, but I think we got a little bit of a glimpse, like right. There was 2 shots.
We're getting them anyway, aren't we? Are we getting like the shinies for the new one, or is that just episode 2?
I think they're just episode 2. But look at now. These are phase 1 clones, right? Is this blurry to me or what?
Oh, those are phase 2, I believe.
No, that's phase 2.
Is it?
Those are phase 2. Yeah.
I can't see very well. Oh no, yeah, they don't have the fin. Okay, so they are phase 2.
Yeah. Or no?
Yeah. What's that?
These are the ones we saw at Revenge of the Sith, though, right? This is when we're making the transition. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez. So,
do you know how much money they spent on this? If that's the case, because these troopers in the Revenge of the Sith, he bragged about it. No costumes were ever made. It was all CGI troopers.
Yeah, they just green screened their heads on top of
Yeah,
well, all I gotta do now is just call 501st, man. They'll gladly work as extras.
Yeah.
Just like they did for the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, but I think so. I think they're putting a lot of money into this show, right? Because it's 2 seasons already.
Like I believe so. Like leading up to the events of Rogue One, and also they're not filming this thing inside the what was it? The dome that they're calling it? The volume. Yeah, this is actually out on location.
They're going on location now. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like they can. Yeah, they're spending a little bit more of the budget here. Yeah, this is not Book of Boba Fett budget here at all. This is not volume. This is they went out. Those costumes are probably made if they went on location, because the 501st are typically based out of California. So if they're going on location,
But see, that's a stormtrooper right there.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be flashbacking through different times, I'm sure.
They did mention that, right? That there's gonna be different timelines. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, because dude, the Mando line, and we'll get to the Mando trailer too, guys. But I was rearranging the other night, and because all my Mando was on a different shelf, I couldn't really see it. It was on the lower shelf, right? So I put all my Mando stuff like right above me up here, right? That's all Mando. And I was like, geez, man, like
there's shit little troopers, aren't there?
Dude, yeah, I think I got like 25 or 26 Mando figures.
Troopers, I think from Mando, I think there are 9 or 10 until now.
Yeah, there's 10 troopers so far.
Yeah,
right.
The Mando line is deep. Yeah.
But I feel like I just started buying it, like it just came out. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, like, because I have 100% of the line, right? So I'm thinking, yes, that's their cash cow, but I think Andor could be like a contender though, right? I mean, they could.
I don't know. Look, I am cautiously looking forward to this series. This is my most, I'm really looking forward to this. Cautiously though. But I don't, even if it's great, I don't know if we're going to get that many figures from this. It just, there's not that many toyetic troopers, if you will. Like we've got Death Troopers, but we already have Death Troopers. So a re-release, like the Riot guy, maybe a clone trooper, but we already have a clone trooper. Let's see what kind of different new variations they have. And then as far as lead characters, Cassian, we'll see.
And it's not a show. I think it's not a show for every Star Wars fan. I think this will appeal to a more niche community. There are no Jedi fights. There are no lasers. There are no lightsabers going around. So I'm expecting a lot of this, but let's see how well it is received in the hand, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, because early reviews suggest that it will be divisive. So I just want to see how the community actually reacts.
Really?
More political and so on.
Yeah, maybe it's more drama, right, than action. Well, there's probably obviously action in here, but
a
little bit more. I mean, this looks like he's got an Imperial disguise version. I wonder if we'll get 2 of him, like Jin.
Why
That's
not?
true. Yeah.
Right.
You never know. I
Is
mean, you never
anybody
know.
experiencing Star Wars fatigue after seeing all these announcements?
Somebody boot this man.
No, I mean
A little bit. Like,
a little. I'm not gonna lie either. Go ahead, Desi.
No, I was just saying a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to this because I'm looking forward to the political intrigue, a little bit of action. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but this is what I'm looking forward to.
Right.
And you could say, well, that's not like the other Star Wars, and I'll say, okay, that's fine. But I don't know. What can I say? I'm looking forward to it. I hope I'm not disappointed.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling too. I will tell you I'm Marvel fatigued.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I'm sure one point Star Wars may catch up on that.
You don't think
Willow-
it's caught up now with the 3 announcements and all the?
No, because
Not really, because that was expected. We knew about these shows were actually coming for a while.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
didn't know Tales
so-
of the Jedi was to be a cartoon.
I was going to say, you knew that there was another Toontown adventure coming up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, didn't they mentioned that at Celebration, I believe, or a little bit before, that it was going to be an animated series.
Yeah, they showed it off at Celebration. I remember in May, which wasn't too long ago, but like we knew it was like nothing new was announced, right?
I think
As
it
far
was
as
just
Star
like a
Wars.
title drop, and that was it. But this time we're actually seeing some sort of trailer, getting an idea of what the show is going to be about. And then what I'm hearing, they're dropping all the episodes at once for this show.
Yeah, there's
Which
gonna
is
be
interesting.
It's a three episodes for in the first day.
Right, but Tales of the Jedi, they're just throwing them all down.
Yeah,
Right.
so
All
Tales. So we'll skim through this, but Tales of the Jedi is 6 episodes, right? And from what it was reading here, is 3 of the episodes are going to follow Count Dooku towards his fall, right, to the dark side, and then the other 3 episodes are going to deal with Ahsoka. So they said familiar faces, things like that.
Maybe Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know. Yeah, so that's supposed to be. I mean, the subtitles are on. We can kind of look at it. It's the same, art from Clone Wars and creators, all that stuff. But it's 6 episodes, right? See, 6 shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wonder about shorts, like you've seen those on Disney Plus, right? Aren't they like 2-3 minute episodes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes?
The I Am Groot series, I think, is like 2 or 3 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I hope
That's
it's not
more
that.
than
for-
enough.
Yeah.
More than enough. 3 minutes.
That's all
Yeah, I
it
mean-
needs.
That's what you tell everybody, Joel?
Yeah.
You want to see why they
Sweet.
call me Big Brother?
Right, 3 minutes is more than enough, right? Fuck, dude. All right. Well, yeah. So, I mean, for this, I don't think this is a big deal. I don't think this is like a whole full blown series.
Yeah.
So, not so much as far as the fatigue side in that respect. I don't know if we'll probably not get anything hot toy wise from this.
What do you think this show is going to do with Dooku? I mean, as far as like the value when it comes to the Hot Toys Dooku that's already out there.
Well, it's a
You
young
could
version
you
of
could
Dooku,
easily
isn't
swap out the blade right now, make it blue, and kind of got this, but I just think the demand for Dooku might go up a little bit,
But
possibly.
this is a cartoon version.
It's a
Yeah.
toon
Yeah.
version. It's like 20 years younger. It's 20 pounds lighter. Everything about it is different. So
Yeah, but the Hot Toys Toon versions in the Clone Wars, they're more of a realistic take anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's assuming they come out with a younger hot toy Dooku using Christopher Lee's sculpt.
permission from his estate.
Like de-age them.
Right, and you're correct, and then de-aged, yeah. Provided they can, right? So that could be something hot, right? Because like you're saying, Mario, like all the Clone Wars hot toys that we get are based off the actor's likeness, not so much the animated likeness, like how Sideshow's doing, right?
Mhm.
I think Sideshow is going to do these lines, not Hot Toys.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
this is going to lean more towards Sideshow.
Okay.
I agree.
Can you imagine if we get the animated Mace Windu before the Hot Toys one? People are gonna
Oh
lose their
man,
shit.
that would be right. That's gonna be something.
Yeah.
They'd be surprised.
Yeah.
No, but Sideshow did Mace before.
Mm-hmm.
I want
They've done
to
it
say
before.
years ago.
Long time ago. Yeah. You're probably right
Maybe.
though, guys. This will probably be a sideshow thing.
Yeah.
Just because they're already doing Clone Wars, right? Like they're doing the animated style. So I guess that would, I mean,
Sure.
Hey, look, there's
Bill.
Bail Organa.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, but if it was Hot Toys maybe or Sideshow, I mean, but there was Rex. So kind of neat. Another Obi-Wan. They flashed through kind of quick on some of this stuff, but oh, dude, did I just see? No, that was highlighted. I thought that was Thrawn. I was like, oh, dude, but it was just Dooku with blue.
Yaddle, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you see
right?
that? It just
Yeah,
was
a little-
right.
Got a little Yaddle.
I missed it.
Yaddle and Dooku going at it.
Oh, they're shoehorn her in for a toy there. It's not by coincidence. That's by design. You see her now.
Yeah.
I like
This
that
is
design
good.
for the Inquisitor.
Yeah, this
That's
is
pretty
cool.
cool.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
Inquisitors really in this era?
Well, so it says. So it says, man.
Curious.
What do you think? Curious? Why is it
Like
curious?
The bird mask.
Yeah, I like it.
Inquisitors
Well, I need to know.
form.
I'm curious as to know like when exactly this is, because when Qui-Gon discovers that, hey, there's a Sith Lord out there, they're all like, oh shit, we haven't seen him in a millennia. So to have an Inquisitor, if an Inquisitor shows up before Darth Maul, it's going to be like, it's going to kind of throw me off a little bit. You know what I mean?
It could be in the Ahsoka episodes.
That's what I'm wondering. Because I thought I heard somebody mention that there was an Inquisitor in the Ahsoka books and the novels. So it could be that.
That could be it. That could be it. You know, because
cool design though.
It looks cool. No, it looks cool, and maybe they're gonna do something. You know, who knows? Who knows? But 6 short episodes, right? That's what we know for that. Again, I think that the panel, we probably all are thinking that's gonna be Sideshow, if anybody.
Okay, Mark Attack is saying that the Inquisitor is post season 7 of the Clone Wars. Okay. Hopefully they'll stick with that timeline. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, they probably will, right? Because if they're, does that mean like Dave Filoni and all them are doing this? I didn't read it. I suppose we should.
Most likely. If
Does it really say
and
here?
it's animated, most likely it will be Dave Filoni.
I don't understand why they keep milking this specific timeline of the Clone Wars. Every time they keep doing that, they risk creating more continuity errors. So I kind of wish they could branch off into a different timeline and era, but they keep going back, playing it safe into Clone Wars, and
I think they're afraid to.
That's what it seems like. I go, this is again with Anakin, and like, really, that's the best. More adventures in this specific timeline. You're kind of shoehorned in. You have to, as a writer, you have to be really careful not to step on existing story arcs and timelines, and then when you do, then you run into continuity errors and
right. You try to backpedal and weave in, and
it doesn't. And
you forget sometime in 2003 this happened or something, right? It's like what Star Trek was doing with Discovery. That's how I felt too. I was like, why are we doing another prequel?
Who did with what?
Yeah, you don't know those things, but listen, but that happens a lot. It's like
that was one of the crutches for Book of Boba Fett. It was peppered with so much continuity errors, and then even Kenobi, the TV show, had situations that are like what? So they keep going back, playing it safe, and that's why I was hinting at. I'm like, it's starting to feel fatigued. Why can't they do something original? Why not create something new and different? Just go 1,000 years in the past, 1,000 years in the future. Just again, more Clone Wars schlock. I guess.
I think it's. Go ahead, Dizzy.
No, I was just going to echo that. That was going to be my concern. It's just that whatever happened with the sequels happened, but now they're afraid to move on. I want to see what happens after episode 9, or even like Denobi said, go 1,000 years in the future. I don't care. Just something different.
No, I'm actually in agreement, guys. Believe it or not, with Denobi on that, because I know the Clone Wars era is cool, and there's always stories that can be explored, so that's what they're doing. But I feel like, personally, the reason they're doing that is because the sequels failed so bad that they feel like they just have performance anxiety now.
Yeah,
maybe.
So just go back to what works.
Yeah, well, because they even announced it, right? They said they're not going to have any movie announcements at least until 2024. They've delayed all kind of movie future projects. So I kind of want to see something that's not,
not Skywalker.
Yeah, not Skywalker, not Clone Wars, not like, unless you want to go 4,000 years ago and do Knights of the Old Republic.
That's what I was going to say. Old Republic, High Republic. There's so much stuff that could be told in there.
Right, you can touch into that because it's so far away that it's not.
Right.
It's not creating plot holes and continuity errors. It just doesn't.
Like give us some like Revan and Malik shit or stuff like that, right? That would be really cool for the diehards out there to see something different. Like Denobi said, go 1,000 years in the past or something. Like do something that we've never seen before. Even Mando, it's in a time period we've seen mostly, but it still feels new. It feels new and fresh and like something different. And I think that's one of the reasons Star Wars fans have embraced it so well, because it's not the same old rehash shit. Like it's different.
But even then with Mando, right? Which we can get to here.
That trailer was so good.
It was so cool. I think it's somewhere here. But even with Mando, they are still, as I've told you before, right? all roads lead to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
So they have some padding though. So you're right. So that's why it still feels fresh, because they are going into uncharted areas up until the sequels, right? So that they can do new things without having continuity errors, right? Because as long as they don't mention Rey or any of those guys, right? And if they do, they can move into it slowly, because it's, you know, it's down the road as far as the lore is concerned. But I don't even like, if they make an episode 10, I don't even want it to be, I want it to just be all new people.
Yeah.
Personally. Yeah. Just give me Star Wars in that respect. But I don't know. But yeah, let's take a look at this, man, because this is what everybody was really talking about, right? I mean, this was like kind of beginning stuff. Let's kind of let it skim, man. Oh, there's that deal, bro. There it is. You guys, so do you think they're going to wait for season 3 to come out and then drop the Starfighter?
I thought about that. My concern right now that is affecting Hot Toys and the Marvel and the Star Wars side is that there's nothing exciting. There's no tentpole event to carry us to the top of the tentpole. And when you see things like The Mandalorian and the trailer ends with come in 2023, and then you go online and you see the rumors fall of 2023, I go, you're losing the audience's interest. You want to sell merchandise, you want to sell the stagnant merchandise, Hot Toys that's sitting there collecting dust. You need some wow, some pizzazz. And I hope it's not true. I hope this is not.
Well, no, I think what did they say? Like February or March?
February?
I think it said 2023, right? 2023.
All it said was sometime in 2023. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I went down the rabbit hole, and they're like, most likely the fall season of 2023, because there's nothing lined up. And I'm like, oh my god,
that's a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's pretty early to show a trailer, though, isn't it? I mean, you would think that.
Yeah,
they would have something lined up for February, like most of the rumors are talking about.
This is Disney. They don't use logic. This is the trailer that was teased early in the year at the celebration, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but it was for a celebration only. It wasn't released to the public like this one, like it is now.
So we're supposed to release in February.
Go ahead, Dizzy.
I hope so.
Sorry, Dino, I cut you off.
No.
I was just going to ask, what's supposed to release in February? Because I know there's something. One of them was supposed to start streaming in February. I just forgot what series it was. Bad Batch is this year, and then something in February, and then
I thought they were saying Mando, but I guess maybe it's just rumors. Because that's what I was hearing too. Was February, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought this one was February, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe they changed it. That was a celebration when they said that.
Was it?
I don't know. I think so.
So we don't know.
Season 2 ended in 2020, folks.
Yeah, December.
It's too long. This is why no one gives a shit about the merchandise right now. And same applies for Marvel too. There's nothing exciting to get collectors to part their cash, and there's just nothing. I'm like 2023. That's too far away. That's assuming that most collectors are going to be able to survive the holiday season until next year.
It's true.
Trying to keep up with whatever they've already missed off their checklist. It's a long time.
Everybody's saying Bad Batch got pushed back to January.
Oh,
so
did it?
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying in the chat.
Yeah,
but we have a Bo-Katan here.
Yeah.
See,
she's gonna be important.
I know. Does that mean we get another? We don't even,
Yeah, probably.
Look here, so many Hot Toys. Look at this.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, look at all these Mando figures they're gonna make. That's
it. Yeah, all you need is the season 3 episode of The Mandalorian. Then when the episode finishes, then Hot Toys has their announcement on their N1 fighter, and everybody hits pre-order. Assuming we have exact start date, I hope it's not fall. I hope it's not fall.
I hope not. I'm hoping they're hitting February. Because you're right. That would mean almost 3 years since the last season. That's too,
like
that's too long.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
But Disney may not see it like that. They may see, well, you guys got a little bit of Boba Fett action with The Mandalorian. I'm like, that doesn't count.
Right. Like the actual Mando show.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm guessing February, March, something right there. Yeah, Clone Trooper was saying Ahsoka was supposed to be fall of 23. So
yeah,
hopefully they'll stay on schedule with that.
Sense.
Because you guys are, you're kind of right in that sense, right? That's why a lot of the Mando figures are just kind of sitting right now, right? Because the interest is kind of died down, it's waned, right? And to Noe's point, even Marvel, right?
Even
Until
Marvel.
the next big thing hits, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I need to get this before it sells out. Right? Even though it's been on the shelf for however long, right? I don't know who these guys are. Do any of you guys know in the chat, or is this just new stuff? Mario, do you know?
These are new, I think.
White and orange Mando, white and gray Mando, and orange and gray Mando. I don't know.
Slim helmet Mando.
Cash cow, orange helmet.
Hasbro first shot prototypes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. $250, $300,
One looks like it has
$275.
that Durasteel chest plate that Mando originally wore,
Yeah,
it looks
right here.
like.
Yeah.
That's what I was
It's his
thinking.
brother. It's his brother.
Oh, is
So
it?
they
This is
shared it.
brother.
Yeah.
It's
But there's
his
a lot of
brother.
colors. I mean, this look pretty cool in a display.
Yeah.
It's Jin
Very
Darn.
colorful.
Well, see, 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗥𝗖𝗢𝗎, man.
Yeah, good car. Is it?
Look at
I mean,
that.
Is it?
Is he governor of a system or of a
Yeah, president.
president?
I know, right? So if they actually give us him, will they give him this like royalty outfit? I mean,
This one does look cooler than his other outfits, I think. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
I
it
got
looks
flashy.
aliens in the back.
yeah, it's very flashy.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
aliens in
we've
there.
got some aliens. We got
aliens in the
another
back.
droid here.
Got a protocol droid in the back. Yeah.
Do we, or do I? Is that what it is? So I got a problem where I look at everything and I'm like, every damn thing is a potential figure.
That's
Well,
that's
with
what
the
Star Wars is,
Mandalorian,
man.
Yeah, the
Right.
probabilities are going to be a little bit higher. All the spin-offs are going to be questionable, maybe just to the main actor or actress. So for Andor, we may just get Andor. It just really depends
I
on
agree.
how the audience perceives it. Because even Hawkeye, what did Hawkeye for the Disney Plus show? It was just
Kate, and that was it. Yeah.
yeah.
Officially, they did.
Yeah.
They did show.
They did show Hawkeye, but
They
Yeah.
did, but still
Nobody
put him
wants
up.
any more Hawkeyes. God, no, we don't need any more. But we got
there's a
him.
lot.
And the two successful Disney Plus shows actually got the most figures, 3 to 4, which was WandaVision and Loki, which they announced Loki season 2.
Mhm.
So those are good. And then Miss Marvel was forgettable, right? Because I didn't even waste my time watching that.
Mm.
Anybody? I'm assuming nobody on this panel sat through.
I
Miss
didn't watch
Marvel.
it either.
I didn't
want
watch
to
it.
at some point, but
Yeah.
No.
That's
Yeah,
where the
I
Marvel
don't-
fatigue Denobi has come in for me. Like, if I would have never missed a Marvel MCU content before, but like now I'm starting to kind of not miss them. Like, I feel like the shows have maybe diluted the brand a little bit. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot happening at once. So it's hard to keep up with everything, to be honest.
Mhm. It's
It,
true.
it reminds you of reading the comics, like with
Yeah.
all the tie-ins to all the like major events. And
Mhm.
half of the tie-ins were like useless, and then every once in a while you get a gem, right? But
And
yeah,
it's
that's
also
where
like I feel like the multiverse stuff is making it like really complicated. It's like
Yes.
it's starting to get like I need like a fucking like whiteboard or a map to understand everything that's going on.
Yeah,
Well,
you
they-
do.
That Hallmark whiteboard sense is how I feel with Star Wars right now.
Mm.
That's how I am right now. I don't have time to keep up with these Toon adventures and back. Let's have more Ahsoka, Anakin adventures. Really? Okay, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
And then Andor again. This guy was an asshole in the film Rogue One. He was not.
was.
likable. So okay, you're gonna give him a show? Oh, all right. No, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, we know how his story ends. So.
Well, again, it
very-
goes to what you're saying. It's all in the past.
Yeah, but he just, to me, he was forgettable. Rogue One was an enjoyable film, but that wasn't the most memory filled scene that comes. It was Jen Erso and Krennic and K2SO throwing little quips. That's what I remember. Those are the three characters that stand out to me.
Yeah, those are the main standouts. And then you got Chirrut and Baze. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then the rest, I'm kind of, Saw Gerrera. I just thought he looked cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
As
I like
short-lived as he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chirrut was awesome.
Yeah, it's just so then as a Hot Toy collector, you almost have to create that holodeck simulation, you have to imagine like, all right, how much do you love this character? Do you love this character $300? That much? Do you love them that much for $300? Because that's the new Hot Toys price right now. What, $270 plus shipping and tax, pepper it in. So how much are you gonna love Andor? I'm buying.
Well, that becomes an issue, right? If we're looking at it from a collector's perspective, that if all of a sudden they drop, I don't know, 6 figures from Andor.
Right.
It's probably $2 grand-ish plus.
Yeah, because even in this panel, we've all been playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, haven't we? Even with Star Wars.
No.
So.
Yep.
Not me.
Yeah, you
already
have
cut me out.
Mario. Haven't you been playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo? You don't have the.
I don't have what?
You don't. Are you collecting the vehicles, Mario?
Come on, bro. We ain't talking about vehicles, dude. You're talking about $200, $300 figures, man. No one gives a shit about vehicles because they're not happening.
So
Get out here with that.
When you are playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo for Star Wars,
Bro, I'll believe the vehicles when I see it. Nothing is dropped yet, so you can like cancel that, all right?
Well, you did get the step.
True. Yeah, I got the step. I've got the blood fin. I've got a speeder bike. Does that
you
count?
got the speeder bike. Okay.
Get the
that
blurg,
counts.
Mario. Get the blurg.
I have a blur coming too, bro.
Oh, dude,
I'll
there
take the
you
creatures
go.
too. Yeah.
I have a blurg coming as well.
I have a blur coming too.
Well, that N1, man, that thing is going to be incredible, but making space for it is the hard part. It's like
Yeah,
fucking
it's gonna happen, dude.
massive.
Well, yeah.
But I really want it. I think we all probably are going to want it, but
You think we'll finally get her?
no.
No.
Oh God, no! I hope not.
I don't
don't
know. I
think
can
so.
kind of see this particular
want
shot
it,
as a
but-
2-pack.
I don't
We
think
don't
she
know.
would sell, dude. I don't
She would
not in
sell
any
well.
real way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would
With
only
the
sell
armor
as
sitting
a
around,
completionist. I know, right?
you
Armor
might
still
sell.
sitting.
Maybe we get exclusive and make 50 of them, like then maybe. But it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's look at the characters that are sitting right now that have been sitting on sideshow shelves, and we have some A-list characters, and like stuff like no, and this little twerp here, no.
Yeah, I know. Is this Babu Frick or is this a different
Who knows?
species?
Yeah.
It's
Or same
Hey!
species.
No way.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of agree with Doc on that one though.
No.
I take a 1-1 Babu Frick. You know, if it was
maybe like as a 2-pack, and he, with like a gonk droid or another Jawa set or something. But no.
Wait, didn't you get one? Did you get one from Disney?
A Babu Frick? No, that wasn't me. That was Don Prime. You're talking about that 1/1 scale Babu Frick from the Disney. That was Don Prime. That's not
Was
me.
that done?
It looked
Oh,
Don
okay.
Prime has it. Like no, I bought the droids. I'm grandfathered in for Star Wars droids automatically, but like these little like one-off characters. Oh no, that's definitely a meeny miny. You gotta go.
You know, Christian, man, that's a good point. Is that IG-11?
is it?
Did we see IG-11 in the
It
trailer?
kind of does look
Like right here.
him.
Where do you?
But
Oh,
whatever Babu Frick's working on.
oh.
It could be a way to bring him back.
I thought that was a
Sure.
swoop bike. It looked like a swoop.
It could be.
Well, I don't know. I'm just once he said that, I'm like, maybe it's really hard to.
Difficult to say.
Anything
Yeah,
to get
it's-
Taika Waititi back to voice him, huh? Anything to get him.
That's probably all they'll let him do.
No
at
one
this
ever
point.
really dies in Star Wars, so
No, that's true.
You're not wrong, dude.
But I mean, the trailer looks exciting, and this is where I'm not fatigued because, again, for the most part, Mando's moving forward, right? It still feels like it's a new story, right? Even though that's going to eventually lead to The Force Awakens, it's fresh. It's fresh, man. And I've enjoyed Mando. I mean, since the beginning. So I'm looking forward to it. I think most people are probably looking forward to Mando,
I
right?
am.
I am.
When it finally shows back up. But
We all
yeah,
are.
I
I just
year or
think
so,
interesting. They get
Even-
the
even
Boba
if-
Fett.
yeah, even if it shows up in March, what is that? 9 months? What is that? August? That's still what? 6-7 months?
6
6
months.
months,
Yeah,
yeah.
6
Yeah,
months or
that's still a
so.
long ass time.
Whoops, I clicked a thing. So what? Well, okay. So even if it's 6 months, but do they have anything else coming? Well, they mix it though. They mix it right, so that we still have Marvel shit coming.
Yeah, because Ant-Man's
they-
coming like February, right? Yeah.
Right. So they kind of
3.
keep it in the same, you know what I mean? They're like, well, it's under the same umbrella, even though it's different, right? Because what if I'm just a Star Wars fan? I have no interest in Marvel, for example, right? If that was the case, then you're like, oh, damn, I do have to wait another 6 months for, well, we have Andor. So Andor's the 29th, 28th, 20, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Andor runs 12 episodes, right? So that's 3 months. Let's just say maybe till, end of the year.
So I had assumed that Andor was going to carry us through the holiday season, and then the first quarter of next year it'd be more Toontown Adventures. I don't know, more Clone Wars of that show, and then would most likely would see either summer or early fall for the Mandalorian. They are milking it. I mean, they're stretching it out. I mean, they're 100% adding extra water to that bowl of milk and cereal. They're like the way the company's been pinching penny. Wasn't Bob Chapek booed off the stage, Mario? Didn't I see some? People are just not happy.
No one likes them. Yeah.
Yeah, the penny pinching at the top. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's really transparent to the fans and the shareholders and
I can tell you on this panel, I'm probably the biggest Marvel fan, and I'm quick to cast the rule of judgment. I haven't been watching any of this Marvel trash. I haven't seen any of the Hawkeye episodes. I saw the first episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was disgusted with the first episode. I'm like, oh, I'm not watching this. You guys have insulted the memory of Tony Stark by making it seem that Avengers are like on food stamps. That really pissed me off. I couldn't even watch that. And then Miss Marvel, I'm like, ooh, no, that's not for me. No. And Eternals, I didn't even want to sit through that. So as a Marvel fan, I have been quick. As much judgment I probably would cast on Star Wars, I cast exact same judgment on Marvel as well too. So I'm not fatigued with Marvel. I haven't seen anything worth getting excited for since they've got rid of Chris Evans and RDJ. They need to pay those boys.
I agree. I mean, did you, Desi and Will, did you guys watch? I mean, you watched Loki, but I mean,
yeah,
for the most
part, I watched Loki too.
Yeah,
it was a good one. I think it was the last good one from Marvel.
Yeah, Loki and WandaVision, I think, are the two top dogs. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I didn't like Captain and Winter Soldier, and that was the one I was looking forward to the most. I agree with Denobi on that one. But yeah, I like Loki.
About She-Hulk?
I haven't even seen it.
See, and that's a good question though, Joao, because like with She-Hulk, I watched the first 2 out of like obligation, I feel like, but the third one, the twerking episode, I didn't even watch. So it's like I don't know. I just am not really in. I'm kind of like Denobi. I'm losing interest. And I have seen all the films. I really love Shang-Chi though. Shang-Chi I thought was incredible. I really like that, and I really like No Way Home. I thought that was great.
Do you think with these Marvel shows they are trying to gather a more younger audience?
I think they're just trying to build up Disney Plus. I think they're trying to build up their subscriber base and build up the value of Disney Plus. That's why they're doing it. And like I think I'm starting to think or feel that it's diluting the brand. It's like too much and people can't keep up. And Loki and WandaVision were the 2 best ones. Falcon and Winter Soldier, like I thought was okay. Like I liked it. Same with Hawkeye, but they're very disposable, I feel like. Whereas Loki and WandaVision I felt were a little bit more, they felt more MCU quality, like not the best of the best, but pretty good, right? So
and more serious tone. These last ones, they are more like
they gave you a reason,
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, for Loki and WandaVision, they gave you a reason to come back. They gave you a legitimate hook, a classic series hook. You didn't even get that from Book of Boba Fett from the pilot episode. There was no reason for me to come back, so I never did. I'm like, oh.
Right. You need to be like drawn in. Like I want to see the next. Like Moon Knight. I watched the first 3 episodes and I gave up. She-Hulk. I watched 2 episodes and I was just like, yeah. I just don't have the desire to. I don't really feel like she's like the comics that I remember reading, but whatever. I just feel like they're doing things different, and maybe it is for a younger generation now, right?
Did you watch Miss Marvel?
No, I didn't watch Miss Marvel either.
Yeah, and see that's the point. Like we're all pretty big Marvel fans.
Loved Miss Marvel. You see, I think they are gathering for a younger audience.
Kenobi, did you read the comics also that makes you a Marvel fan, or are you just more of the MCU guy?
I was so when it came to comic books in the 90s, because I was caught up with that whole comic book 90s boom, I was very specific. I only stuck to maybe 4 characters. It was Spider-Man, it was Aquaman, Superman. It was mostly DC, and with Marvel, it was always Spider-Man. I never read any of the Iron Man comic books. I couldn't stand Iron Man comic books. I hated the way the suits look. It looked like spandex. I never got it. I never connected with anything with Iron Man in the comic books. I never read She-Hulk. That's why I was able to go and watch She-Hulk, just a little bit different. But I'll tell you though, that twerk episode, it almost told me no. I was with it until I saw that. I was like, no.
It was a post-credit scene though, dude. I mean, why would a post-credit scene throw you out of the series completely?
It was very, I get the whole meta situation, but it felt like, how do you put this? It felt like it was insulting my intelligence. Right? Okay. Because and I get it, it's a comic book film and all that, but they're like, we don't have to really try that hard because you're watching us on Disney Plus. So grin and bear it.
Like you want a little more serious tone.
Yeah, and I get the whole Ally McBeal fourth wall break, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and she did that in the comics.
Yeah, but I felt that I felt that twerking scene just went a little bit too overboard. And I'm like, we don't really have to try because you guys are going to watch us anyway. And
I can feel that.
Yeah, I just don't play that. I'm like, no, I don't have to watch. Yes, I subscribe to Disney Plus, but I also do know for a fact with all these streaming services, they religiously study their analytics. So they know the minute that someone religiously will watch a show, and then if they stop watching, that's usually a red alert. What's going on here? They get all of that. That's one of the reasons they all love streaming, the whole idea, versus the old school days of the Nielsen ratings where they had to kind of create expectation, almost create like a roundabout survey. Not with streaming. They know exactly when someone pushes play, exactly when someone turns it off.
It's true. When they fast forward, when they rewind, replay, all that stuff. Dude, do you guys know that this is Man Thing?
Just gonna say, look, Man Thing,
right? Like, dude,
that's awesome. Yeah. That's why I like this trailer.
Right? Yeah. So this is Werewolf by Night, which is.
I don't even know what this is. I haven't even seen this.
It's a Man Thing, bro.
Dude, the Man Thing is the shit, bro. And I hope we get a hot toy. So
this trailer, I was gonna say this trailer for Kenobi is the Werewolf by Night trailer, and it looks like it's a Marvel, as it says, there's special presentation. It could be like a Halloween special. I'm not sure. I don't know. I just like the horror aspect of it. Let's see if it's good. I don't know.
Now this was October 7th. Yeah.
October 7th. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's not based off of a comic book or anything. This is just something original.
Oh, it is.
No, it is. Werewolf by Night was the comics. That's where I think Moon Knight was first appearance. Correct me if I'm wrong. I forget. I think his first appearance was in Werewolf by Night.
I believe you're correct.
I think I am. It's been a minute. If you guys know in the chat, let me know.
Do you guys think they should be digging this deep in the well and to be introducing characters like this? I mean, well, other characters that should be prioritized, before this. I mean, I don't know. I had no context for anything. That's why for me, I'm enjoying the shows, but like what Will said, a lot of them are forgettable, which I completely agree with. It forgettable and disposable, which is fine. Well, but I'm not, I'm not like I've got no context for anybody, so I really can't say why I would hate something unless the story for me personally wasn't really that good and enticing. They're just like okay and something to watch.
Well, it looks like it is indeed a Halloween Disney's Plus special.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in that sense, it's probably a one and done type thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's not good TV programming out there. We have House of Dragon, we have the Amazon Lord of the Rings. The Boys. There's just good. That's probably my thing. I just don't like to waste my time. I just give me decent writing. That's really all I've been asking for.
Yeah.
As far as digging too deep, like I don't know. It's kind of like as long as it's well written. I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy, even Doctor Strange to a point. Like you know, those are pretty deep. You know, they're not Spider-Man or Captain America. So it's just about the writing. Like if it's like maybe Werewolf by Night is a hit and it's one of the best things I've ever done. I mean, I doubt it, right? But hey, I'm just saying it as an example. You never know.
Well, AJ says it's supposed to be about 60 minutes. So yeah, maybe it's just, you know, Halloween special, kind of going with that old noir style. I don't mind. Now, Secret Invasion though.
See, I'm worried about this one because I suspect that there's going to be not continuity errors. There's going to be timelines where they're not lining up. And I'll give you an example, like with She-Hulk and the Abomination, where She-Hulk, I guess, was and Shang-Chi were supposed to, I guess, coincide with each other and the whole idea that she's defending the Abomination from Shang-Chi when we first saw him. And when did this movie come out? When did Shang-Chi come out? So
19 or 20?
Wasn't it 2020? Didn't Shang-Chi come out in 2020?
21? Wasn't it last year?
I think it was 2021. Yeah.
Was it 2021?
Yeah. Let me see.
It
September 3rd, 21.
The real-time lines aren't lining up. And I feel like Secret Invasion because the last time we saw Nick Fury, wasn't it from Captain Marvel? From the end scenes or something? Or no, from Spider-Man.
It was in Far From Home. The second one, Far From Home, right?
When they went to Venice, right?
Yeah, with Mysterio.
Yeah, so
wasn't he a Skrull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we find out he's in space.
Because he was in space or something.
Right in the post-credit scene.
Is anybody else concerned that the timelines aren't syncing up to
they say here. Oh, where did they say it? I thought they said it here. I read somewhere where this is supposed to take place.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I read it, but in the trailer though, he says like he'd been gone a minute. Like he's been gone a while. See, it's like he just came back. He's all bearded out and like. So he's been gone a minute. So that part I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be comic style Secret Invasion. But these guys all look like Skrulls. Is it lagging? I think it's lagging.
Yeah, there you go.
But I feel like maybe the way the tone is on this trailer, I don't know if you guys have all checked the trailer out. I'm getting that kind of Winter Soldier vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I guess
the movie or the show?
The
show.
I guess my biggest fear is that this is going to be a good show, and nobody's going to care, just because it's not lining up with the timeline.
Well, it might though. That's the thing. I don't know how this is not. This is post like snap stuff with Thanos, right?
Yeah. Because when I saw Shang-Chi in theaters, I went to go see Shang-Chi in theaters, right? I wanted to know why the Abomination was with Wong in that cage match. Oh, it must be something cool. Must be something, secretive. Maybe we'll see it follow up. And then you wait a year and a half later and you find out it just tied into She-Hulk and a gimmick side B storyline. Or it was just really. It wasn't even the main story arc. It wasn't even plot A. It was the plot B. I mean, that's one of the oh God, what a Debbie Downer.
I know that was kind of like, because you want it to be like some kind of a bigger tie-in, and a lot of times it's not, so it's kind of like, okay. But I'm still looking forward to it because of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, he's legendary.
It's going to touch into, the Skrulls, which I think is cool, right? But see, I'm also a comic purist, though, so I know this is not going to be anything like the comic Secret Invasion. I don't care. I don't care. If the story's really good, then, you know what I mean? I'm down for it.
Mhm.
I don't mind.
I'll give it a chance. I'll watch 1 or 2 episodes.
The reason I liked Winter Soldier, I love that one so much because it felt more like a spy thriller action.
Espionage,
Yeah, you know. So if Secret Wars feels this way too, which is the vibe I'm getting,
You want to be careful about keeping that Winter Soldier film budget expectation, because when we get to Disney Plus budget, everything's filmed in the volume now. So.
Oh well, I mean, I definitely don't think the budget's gonna. Yeah, of course, the budget's not gonna be movie budget, right?
Yeah.
But the story, I'm hoping, will be good. And same with Armor Wars, right? So, okay, so see, this is what it says: War Machine solo show will be 6 episodes long and pick up right after the events of Secret Invasion.
I thought we were gonna get this show this year, Armor Wars.
No,
they announced it a while ago, didn't they?
Yeah. They did. But so that's gonna come after Secret Invasion. So I think Secret Invasion is like, we got to look it up. I'm surprised it doesn't say it right there. But Secret Invasion should be current, like in the timeline, right? Like post whatever we're at right now in the MCU. Like it's the newer, right? Do you think is that what it is, Will? Do you know? Like I think that's what they were trying to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, because with Armor Wars, man, like I said, this is just another thing to me where it's kind of like like it's hard to keep up with all of it at this point. Like I know very little about Armor Wars and Secret Wars. I mean, or the Secret Invasion thing that they just showed, right? That I was fine with it. I mean, I thought it was okay. It was a solid trailer, but I think like what 𝗕𝗏's saying, like I think a lot of people are just kind of like, I don't know. I'm getting like. I do feel a little bit with Star Wars, but not as much as I do with Marvel right now. I just feel like there's a lot coming at me at once. And like, you know, you guys are referencing, there are other great shows like House of the Dragon and The Boys and Rings of Power. And there's a lot of stuff that's demanding our attention right now. And that's kind of what is like, it's hard to keep up with all this. So it's almost like I feel like less is more nowadays, but Disney wants to pump out as much Marvel shit as possible. And they want to build up Disney Plus as much as possible. So they want to keep pumping out content. But it's like, we can't keep up with it possibly. I mean, like there's no way. Like it's hard to keep up with all this stuff, and you have to start picking and choosing. And it's like, do I want to watch maybe what Miss Marvel could be or She-Hulk, or do I want to watch House of the Dragon, right? Like you're gonna have to start making those choices. And like it's just, you know, even with Armor Wars, man, like a lot of these shows are just not quite grabbing my attention right now. The films, I feel like most of us are probably still going to go see those, right? The films, like, you know,
movies are more.
But dude, even like I never would have thought it would got to the point like Thor 4, right? It took me like a month to go see it. Like I used to go see shit opening night. Like,
right, or like a midnight release or something.
And that film, I was just kind of like, like I'll go see it when I see it. And like that's not the position I've ever been in with Marvel before. Yeah. Like, and it's like, and that's not good, right? So
I haven't even seen it yet, and it's on, and it just feels like homework if I have to
I just saw it the other night. Yeah,
it's not terrible, dude, but it's like okay, it's very okay. Like it's like
no, it's terrible, dude.
You think so? Okay.
No,
it was horrible, dude.
Yeah,
no, I saw Morbius this week. All right,
yeah, I thought it was okay.
That's terrible.
Listen, I'm in the boat, man. I grew up reading comics. I'm covered in comic ink. Like I love comics, and I was like, dude, I remember going to see Iron Man 2 in the theater at midnight, dude, and we couldn't even get in.
Yeah, see? And that's Iron Man 2.
Yeah. Well, remember, there wasn't much then either, right? So, but I was just like, oh, shit. I like Iron Man 2.
Yeah, it's okay.
So do I.
Okay.
I fucking love Iron Man 3. And I know a lot of people don't.
3 that much.
I do. I like 3.
I liked 3. Okay. It was more of a character study of Tony Stark, and that's why I liked it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, him kind of dealing with, you know, the outcome of 2012 Avengers and all the pressure and the anxiety that was, you know, coming on to him and stuff. I liked that. You know, and I like Shane Black when he hits right, you know. Sometimes he doesn't. The new Predator movie sucked. Not Prey, but the one prior to that he did. You know, I was like, damn. But, you know, no, it was cool. But that's my point, though. Like, we were so excited. We're like, oh, shit, Iron Man 2, dude, let's go. We're going to go down to that theater at midnight. We got there like 11 or some shit, stood in line, got to the freaking counter, and they're like, oh, it's sold out. And I'm like, you know, and I don't think we could do tickets online then. I don't remember, but we didn't. So I don't know. Like, we just went. You know, we thought we could get in. It was just packed.
Yeah. I'm just terrified to see what War Machine is going to look like on this Disney Plus budget. I am 100% terrified because the suits in the films were always done by ILM. And now that we're on a Disney budget here, they're probably going to outsource it to a cheapo effects house. And I'm just like, oh boy. But you can't. I mean, you have to play fair, right? I mean, it is a Disney Plus budget. It's not a theatrical $150 million budget where you can always get ILM to go in and do the effects. And that's where the money's always been with Marvel, is it's the merchandise. That's why Hot Toys keeps going back to guaranteed printing money. And that's why they keep going back to Iron Man. Specifically, anything that was blessed and christened by Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
So Armor Wars is clearly a merchandising tentpole event. Maybe it'll do great on Marvel Legends, right? I just don't know if the Hot Toys community will lean towards a $400 die-cast Armor Wars Disney. I don't know. I'm just so...
It depends. The only nice thing about it is that even if the budget's not all that great, the Hot Toy should be.
Yeah.
Right? Because they'll just do it that way. Oh, real quick though, guys. I know Will and Mario, you guys have to get.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got plans, man. We got gotta get some breadsticks before we go to bed, bro.
Hell yeah.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah,
pretty much, man. You know,
some
how it
soup
goes.
too, but breadsticks. Yeah.
Well, Will, it is a pleasure. Short-lived, but I understand it's late for you over there.
Yeah, man.
What you got going on, man? You got a segue of anything?
Yeah,
What's
man.
going
Well,
on?
thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. And so it's always a blast to be on. And I'll have a Collector's Mingle tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty much it for me. So, I mean, it's going to be a blast, man. And we'll have some new people on there and then some familiar faces. So it'll be fun. But I appreciate you having me, man.
Of course, man. Of course. I wish you could stick around longer. Well, we started a little bit later.
Yeah. We started about an hour later. Everybody. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
It's
Blame Mario.
11:30 over here, man. Almost.
Yeah,
so,
my fault.
It's okay. It's all good, man. I'm sure it's good to have you here and everybody in the chat. You guys know Will. If you don't know Will, link in the description. Go check him out. Little Foxification, my man.
Cool.
Well, you have a good evening, bro.
All right, guys. Good to see everybody. Peace
Yes,
out.
sir.
Mario,
Yeah,
I'll see you
brother.
for the bed 6 soon, bro.
Yeah, see you in a bit, dude.
All right,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
See you, man. All right, dude.
All right, peace, brother. And Mario, you got a dip?
Yeah, something just came up right now, man, that I gotta attend to, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, my fault for starting the show late too, bro. So
right, you're like, I want to wait late, and then I gotta go.
I know.
This guy.
I know. God, yeah.
Oh, we love you, man. It is
I'm sorry
okay.
for ruining everybody's Saturday night, bro.
No, you didn't ruin anything.
But thanks for having me on tonight, man. And did you show the intro? That new intro you were working on?
Oh yeah, you missed it because
I did. You were late. That was sick, dude. That was badass.
Well, thank
man,
you.
Great job with that, man. Thanks for having me on. It's great to see everybody in the chat. Great to see everybody on the panel tonight. So this Friday night, next Friday night, the Friday coming up, got LWO coming up on my channel, man. It's gonna be a fun discussion. Just discuss some of the topics during the weeks. Anthony, I believe you're coming on along with Brother Cousins, so that's gonna be a fun time. And after that, we'll be back here again Saturday night, Thursday. This Thursday night, also got Uncivilized Scoundrels with Lael. Got a lot to discuss, man, for Star Wars, so that's always going to be a blast. But again, it was great to see everybody tonight, and I will see everybody soon. I hope.
You will, buddy. All right, man.
Take
it easy, Mario. Take it easy. I guess they had to get going for that, but that's okay. That is all right. I think I got Lane Kramer in the house. Where you at, Lane? Lane's just dropping a $5 super chat, dude. Thank you so much, Lane. He says, so what feels like the most hurt my brain? What hurts your brain the most? 2.0 or reissue from Hot Toys in the last year? Oh, like what's the most like, oh, it hurts my brain thing? Like, is it a 2.0 or reissue? Well,
the pain.
The pain.
The pain?
Yeah, what's been more painful for you, per se? I think he's asking the panel. What's been more painful for the panel? The 2.0s or the reissues?
Oh. Well, you're probably not going to agree with me on this one.
You want me to really blow your mind? When the market deems a bond too risky to buy, what do you think we do with it? Take a guess.
I don't know. You tell me.
All right. You think we just Warehouse it on the books? No. We just repackage it with a bunch of other shit that didn't sell and put it into a CDO.
A CDO?
Yes, a CDO.
What is that?
This is where we take a bunch of Bs, double Bs, and triple Bs that haven't sold, and we put them in a pile. And when the pile gets large enough, the whole thing is suddenly considered diversified. And then the whores at the rating agency give it a 92, 93% AAA rating. No questions asked.
That's awesome.
Very well done. Very well done.
Well, shout out to Christian Detours, man. One of my channel members, man. He made that shit. And I was like, yes, I will use that absolutely tonight. So to answer Lane Kramer, and Lane didn't know, but that's a perfect segue kind of into that. This is, and I know Denobi, you know, you don't think so. So I'm gonna ask Joel first. What on this, because we can briefly touch on this, man. Like, does this bother you, or is this not even a question to you?
You mean these Mark V?
Yeah, the fact that, and I know, you know, at least here in the US, the other Mark V has just recently became in stock.
It doesn't affect me at all. First, because I don't collect much Iron Man, but for a collector general point of view, I think the problem with this one, it's basically Hot Toys has a lot of bodies, and they need to sell these Mark V, and they just place a new diorama on it. But I can see people getting mad, but isn't this exclusive? I don't think this will be available everywhere.
No, I don't think so either. But I still feel like, and this was the point I tried to go ahead. Sorry.
I'm all for exclusives. Like the Spider-Man with the churro, I said yesterday, if they do that as exclusive, will not go worldwide, I'm all for it. Hot Toys need to keep doing more of this stuff. More exclusives. But that are really exclusives, not that will go to Sideshow afterwards.
Right. No, and I agree with that. I keep thinking we need more exclusives, but my concern was
reissue. I know.
Yeah, because it's like they just reissued this thing, and we just recently got it in stock, and now it's like again. And I know that it's okay, it's not here in the States, but anybody who's collecting Hot Toys, you know, in Facebook groups, on Reddit, wherever, watching YouTube, like, they'll get this if they want it. So it's not like, you know, so that's my argument towards it, where it's kind of like, well, it's not even going to be here. Like, yeah, sure. But I would, if I really wanted it, I would just order it overseas. I don't, you know, if I really wanted this Mark V, and if I bought the Mark V, I'd be like, damn, now this is here. But I know, Denobi, you don't really agree with that, right?
No, it doesn't. This is, first of all, I don't even see it as a reissue, other than the original reissue, which was announced. This is just, I see it exactly for what the branding is. It's an exclusive, available in selected markets. And that is it. That's completely it. It didn't bother me the first time they announced this reissue, which was in late 2020, right?
Yeah, we just got it a few months ago in Sideshow.
Yeah, we just got it a few months in Sideshow, but the reissue was announced. This was one of the pandemics. I don't even want to say it. This is one of their 2020 saves. Remember when things stopped and they needed to generate funds?
When the world died?
Yeah, when the world died, yeah, and they needed to generate funds. When all hope is lost, you can always turn to your prized gems like this, and you can generate quick funds to stay afloat. And they didn't turn towards Vader or Luke. It was always Iron. It was like Iron Man. It was that, the War Machine. So I had people messaging me on when they had announced these reissues back in 2020. I'm like, it doesn't bother me. I already have them, and I never intended to sell any of my suits. That's not how I curate my collection, and I think that's where most collectors feel broken now, because that's how they managed their collections, cannibalizing their existing collections to stay afloat. And that's not how Hot Toys works. That's not how anybody should ever curate. If you decide to sell one or two pieces, sure, but not having a liquidation sale, selling everything off, and just That's not how collecting works.
Sure. Well, I don't necessarily even look at it in that respect, that selling it off, right, to get another. It's just that, you know, if I bought the Mark V and then they just put this out again with a, you know, a pretty cool looking base, arguably, I would feel upset. And then on the flip side, it's kind of like, it makes me think, will they start doing this more frequently with stuff that just comes out? That's my concern. Like, is it, oh, hey, look, we got away with this, so we can keep doing it.
Yeah, and that whole surprise shock value is one of the examples that I brought up. I go, they've been doing this all year, folks. This is nothing new. This is part of the game. You want to sit in that captain's chair, right? That's risk is part of the game. They've announced multiple figures that have never reached the shores of Sideshow's pre-order, and that's fine, normal. If you as a collector want to pay double the amount, go for it, but be warned. And that's usually the quickest way of tapping out or getting bent out of shape, right? Because you're emotionally distraught now because but even for most veteran hot toy Iron Man collectors, we put our suits in Hall of Armors, or we'll keep them. This diorama is cool, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And then even so, it'll probably have $100 sticker shock price on it anyway.
Right, just for the base, right?
Yeah. And let's not forget the Mark V already has an add-on bonus, right? A suit up version, right? Suit up version, which I think is a fantastic art piece, where he suits up. That piece alone is $400. So this right here is just crying over spilled milk. There's a beautiful gem inbound. I want to say is first quarter of next year of him suiting up. There's a deluxe version, a regular version. They're going hard on the Mark V. It's always been one of my favorite suits. So it doesn't no. And again, I like to point out that the individuals that are crying foul on Hot Toys either don't collect Iron Man suits, and much less have a decent Marvel collection. So Joel there, I was listening though. Look at you. I was listening. You're like, hey, it doesn't bother me. I don't collect Marvel. I heard you. Look at you.
No, I said I don't collect.
Beautiful. Look at
Iron
you.
Man.
You're paying attention. Adding those liability disclaimers now.
I have 2 Iron Man.
Well, for me, and you guys know that
you know that though. It's just, look, they're listening to you. They're listening to the panel. They're looking for sound advice. You should always disclose yourself. I'm like, look, I don't have an Iron Man suit in the panel, but I think, blah, 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 whatever your opinion is. You should always disclose that.
No, I agree. Because people know me, like I got rid of most of my Marvel, right? Yeah. So it's just, but my concern is the implications of if they're going to do this with other stuff. What do you think, Desi, man? What do you and I know you don't really collect a lot of Marvel either, but what do you think about that? Is it a big deal?
Well, I even commented on your earlier video, Anthony, where I said, look, I think this could be a timing issue unless this is a China-only exclusive. Because I just saw the picture. I didn't know it was the details about it, right? I just said, oh, it's a diorama base.
I don't think it's China exclusive. They don't mention it where it's from. It's where it's going to be distributed. I don't know. China.
I don't know if it's region only. Look, if it's wherever it's sold out, clearly not here yet, right? But if it's sold out in China, Japan, wherever it may be, and now they're saying, okay, well, we're gonna release this one with diorama base. It's gonna be exclusive, limited numbers, just for that market where it's already sold out. Then, I can justify that. Like, that's all right. I don't see what the problem is. It's gonna be a different SKU. It has a diorama base. It's a reissue of the same figure, but the product is a different product. I'm all right with it, right? Now, if they say I'm going to release this now and ship it over to the US, the only issue there is I go back to the timing issue. If they're going to distribute through Sideshow, because it's like, well, everybody who bought that Mark V that they have now, maybe they would have chosen this one. Mm-hmm. Again, not a huge deal, but I don't know. That's what I think, especially if it's exclusive to China and Japan. Like, hey, if it's sold out there, then why not? as Hot Toys, I would have been like, yeah, it's an Iron Man. It's going to sell. Let's put a diorama base in there and let's issue this as a new SKU.
Yeah, I can see that totally.
What I find interesting is that for these exclusive, people go bananas with these. The Spider-Man, there are people offering $500 for that Spider-Man with a churro one. I think, do you really want to pay $500 for that? I
Some
know.
people already have on the BST groups. I've seen it.
You know,
And
I have a friend who's at D23 right now, and he bought his first Hot Toys. He bought 3. One of them is that first Spider-Man. I was like, okay. He bought Miles, and he bought this that Spider-Man. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but he bought it. He bought it at the convention at the normal price.
Yes,
the normal price tag.
Yeah,
not $500 or $600, right?
No, but I mean, for a first-time buyer, you know, who's never bought Hot Toys to like pick that, and it is still $300, you know, even at retail. It's like, geez, okay, well, there you go.
True. My only thing was, you know, just like Doc said, is the implications, right? Is like I thought it might be an over dramatic about it, and I said that the other day when I did my morning stream too. I was just thinking like it's not so much it's the Iron Man. It doesn't matter what the figure is. I figure like, you know, will this become a habit where they're like, well, we just, you know, this figure was announced a year or so ago. It just started shipping. Everybody's getting it. And then surprise, we're going to do this figure again, but give you a different diorama base or something like way too soon. That I think that's what I'm feeling from this Iron Man.
This is no different than the whole Mandalorian situation with the Chrome. If you were a year one collector, you should have learned your lesson in that point in time. That there was a lesson to be taught during that situation. Apparently, some in the community may have forgotten it. That was very recent. Wasn't that in 2020?
Here's the thing, though, where I'll argue your point is that I feel like the Beskar Mando to the Chrome Mando are different figures. In the sense that we get a Pedro Pascal sculpt. He's got the chrome now. He's got the Boba Fett armor with him. You know, all the other accessories. It's a harder kick in the balls, right? It's a tougher versus this one. At least you can dismiss it with a diorama base. You can. So I don't know which one is worse, but I feel like
at least those. Which one is worth, Anthony?
Well, do I though? Because I don't know if I do, man. I don't know. Because at least I'd be like.
I mean, collectors were jumping off 5-story buildings. I mean, over that Chrome situation, that was rough, dude. I mean, there was some fires being put out. They were working around the clock on that one. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, no, I remember people being pretty livid about it.
That was.
It's true.
Boy, I mean, you want to pour some salt in some wounds right now. I mean, but you know, and then not only was a lesson shared during that point in time, they retaught the exact same lesson to the community with Venom. Oh boy, Venom.
Well, we remember Venom.
If there was ever a situation where a collector was violated, it was definitely that Venom 2.0. So, hey, what does that mean? Risk is part of the game.
No, it's true. I know it is, right? You want to sit in that chair?
You want to sit in that chair? I mean, to me, those were the biggest punch. I'm talking like the punch was so hard. I mean, you woke up the following morning feeling sick. Like, what have I done? Nobody wants to get stuck with the poor cousin version. Nobody wants to.
But see, here's the thing, and I will agree with you on this point that you mentioned earlier, is that Hot Toys doesn't care. I mean, realistically, right? They're making figures. Some may go to this region, some may go global. They don't care. They have retailers that will buy this stuff.
Yep.
They'll put in their purchase orders, and then that's all on the retailers at that point. And Hot Toys just keeps on trucking, right? I mean,
I'm not defending them on this stuff, but we don't know what their financial situation is either.
Yeah.
I can speculate that I feel like they're going through hardship and they keep going back for Iron Man for support. It's kind of like going to the bank and like, hey, we need another loan, Iron Man. You know, production's been stalled and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the whooshing province. We need a little bit more cash. And what do we got? Oh, the Mark 46. Do we need the head sculpt? No. All right, push it through. Right. And that's a hot, and right there, Hot Toys exclusive, Mark 46. That one didn't bother me so much though, because that one, they were charging a little bit more than the original price of the Mark 46 Civil War suit, and they omitted a lot. I mean, they include the head sculpt, accessories. So this is it. And again, I sympathize with collectors, because when I see collectors purchasing reissues like this, all I see is like, well, you're just kind of moving backwards. There's 147 pre-orders in that direction. I'm trying not to go backwards. So,
well, but to be fair though, right? Like, well, Joel, you said you only have a couple Iron Mans, right? But if you were new into collecting, I don't necessarily think it's going backwards though, right? If it's a reissue. I mean, for you, Denobi, maybe, right? Because you have it. So you're like, well, I don't need this. I don't really need the diorama base. It's no big deal. But maybe for somebody, well, and this particular one is a little weird, right? Because they can just buy it right now on Sideshow. But
he just left, but Will had practiced a maneuver where he had the original Mark V, and he sold it right before they had announced I think it was him,
the one that just finally hit stock.
Yeah. And his idea was, look, I made out like a bandit. I sold the original 5, and now I get to rebuy. Oh, you know what? I apologize. It was not him. It was, I think it was 16 Economist. I think it's, remember. I think it was him. But there was individuals who had actually had their 5 and had just assumed that it was going to get reissued, and they lucked out, and they got lucky. I've only ever been tipped off legitimately once, and it was with the Mark 1. The Mark 1 3.0, right? It's part of the game. It's a 3.0, and I love. And for the record, 2.0s and 3.0s do not scare me. If you're going to add all sorts of brand new technology and accessories, new skull, I'm all for it. Does not bother me one bit. But
yeah, I would agree with that. 2.0s, 3.0s. I mean, Desi, and I know somebody brought it up in the chat. You know, if they give us Predators, 2.0s, 3.0s.
Yeah, absolutely. 2.0s. I'm all for 2.0s, 3.0s. It's an improved version. That's not a reissue. If they reissue the Predator and it's the same body, I'm going to be super upset, because that's over 10 years old. Like, what? You're not going to improve it? So they're not going to do that, right? So 2.0.
Same with the 89 Batman. They are doing the 2.0, and I agree with that. I have the original one, but the 2.0 is very welcome. That the first one, the suit was not the best, the material and
the rubber, the plastic, the PLL, whatever, it wasn't aging right. The pink panty syndrome with the original plastic Mark 6, that was all normal. That's one of the reasons I try to scold anybody that wants to purchase figures more than 10 years old throughout. I was like, don't do it. I don't even care if it's brand new and sealed. Denobi, do not do it.
Anthony risks a bit, I think.
Sometimes I do.
I scold Anthony too about that. You can even ask him. I go, don't be buying that old shit. Oh, it's a grail. I know, Anthony. Get it. But but he understands the risk. Anthony is a veteran. He understands.
Hey man, like you said, man.
Yeah, risk.
You want to sit in that chair, right? Risk is part of the game. Like,
so yeah, he knows it. He knows the risk.
Yeah.
I don't, because I remember on Facebook in 2017, 2016, seeing those photos, those horror shots, people sharing photos of the Predators, horrible QC issues after 3 to 4 years.
Well, the 1.0s were really bad.
Yeah, really bad.
But the 2s are holding up pretty well.
Yeah, the alien soldiers, all of them are falling apart. They did that. Most people don't even know that, but yeah, they did the grunts from Aliens.
The Colonial Marines with no likeness rights.
Yeah, they're all horrible. They've all aged.
Yeah, those. But you're talking about going back to practically the birth of Hot Toys. Like shortly after they did Police and Firemen, and then they started doing Colonial Marines.
2006, 2007.
They did George Lucas.
2007, 8 around there. Yeah.
They did. Yeah, the director.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's too far.
Yeah.
That's no. So I agree. We need those. My own point of contention with this was just if they start doing that later, and I forgot who said it to me, but somebody in my chat on my stream made up a good point that said if they give us a Han and Chewie reissue
Yeah.
or whatever comes out.
2.0. Yeah. I would be for that. Oh, absolutely.
Well, no. What I mean is, like, let's just say they do it and a year goes by or whatever. Now it's out up for sale. People are like, yeah, I could buy Han and Chewie, right? Get this 2-pack. And then 3 months later, they reissue it again and be like, here's the Millennium Falcon, base with them. Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like that. Hopefully that's not what would happen when I see stuff like this. I'm like, does that mean they could just keep?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. It wouldn't bother me though. Because by then Hot Toys would have released their Falcon cockpit if they ever do the 2.
Well, maybe, but that's I'm just using them as an example, right? Just as an example, like that would concern me. I think,
That doesn't really concern me. What concerns me is always their numbers, right? Because using that exact same scenario, that example, right? If they release a Han Solo 2.0 and then they release another Han Solo in the future with a diorama base, it's like, well, that depends. Is the 2.0 already sold out before they release the 2.0?
No, it's just sitting. It's sitting in Sideshow right now. You can add it to cart ships next day.
Then you're running into the whole same issue with the stock. Now you're creating more dead stock. Right? Yeah. If unless they're both limited and they're both going to sell out, then it's okay. It's just about the numbers. Don't create dead stock. But as far as doing stuff like this with this Iron Man, and it's okay. I'm always just been like, hey, don't reissue too much. Do a 2.0 and please control your stock. That's all.
That's my concern, and I am blowing this out of proportion. I know I am. Because if this was, as Joel said, and Denobi, everybody, if this was coming to the States, Sideshow's carrying it, it would be more of a problem for me.
Yeah,
I'm looking kind of below the surface, and nobody knows what I'm talking about, man. Sometimes I look way deep down, and I'm like, well, dude, what if they start doing that?
You guys, everybody's focused on this. To me, I'm like, I would love to buy the 2.0 stealth suit Captain America for it's Endgame branded, but we're not getting that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go chase it. I can't. There's just no way I can go chase that. There's just way too much good stuff, right? I don't want to miss out on the Andor 2-pack. I don't want to miss out on Moff Gideon. I don't want to miss out. So I can't. I mean, if they made it available for me at fair price or retail, great. But no. And again, even like the Andrew Garfield's Lizard, I'm going to have to go overseas on that because clearly there's a distribution issue there.
Well, it's not even really up, right? I mean, Joel, do you know?
It is.
What's going on? Is it the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? Or I'm sorry, the Toby. It's the Toby one, right?
No, it's the Andrew Garfield with the lizard diorama.
Well, isn't that on Sideshow?
No.
They announced it.
They did. That was one of the points I was trying to explain to you. They've been announcing a lot of figures but because it's not Star Wars, no one pays attention.
There's just a lot. They've bombarded us with a lot of Spider-Mans, but I thought something's up there, but I thought Toby's not.
Toby's up there.
I don't remember.
Toby's up there. The Andrew Garfield is not.
Okay,
but here's the kicker, though. Andrew Garfield went into pre-order at Secret Base. You could have gone up there and gotten your little ticket. And most trusted Hong Kong resellers like KG Hobby and TNS Figures, they all took legitimate pre-orders on it. So it is 100% available in Asia. There was some, you can speculate at this part, but it was not. So I have to go through a Hong Kong source to get it. I have to. I'm building the Spider-Verse. There's no way I'm going to miss out on an Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, it's here. It's available here. Is this one, right?
Yes. See, I told you.
Yeah. Okay,
that was one of the points I wanted. I tried to make that nobody was paying attention. That there's been about 5 figures that have been announced that haven't even made it to Sideshow, and everybody's focusing on the Mark V, and peeps don't even collect suits.
Well, HKS says he's already pre-ordered from Malaysia, so yeah. Okay, yeah, I get confused with all these because we got bombarded with all this Spider-Man stuff, and I'm like, I knew something was missing. I didn't know. So is Toby here now?
Toby is legitimate on Sideshow as a pre-order. Andrew was not allowed. As to why, it was never.
It's got to be just a timed thing, or
no? It's I'm assuming it was a distribution licensing situation because I went through Sideshow chats and they couldn't provide an answer for me. So it almost felt like a no comment the way I remember it.
They're not going to say anything to anybody because then we'll that information's just going to spread, and then people are going to be like, oh, this is why.
Yeah.
So it's best for them to just,
Those
you
No
know,
Way Home figures are absolutely, and
They
I
are.
absolutely expect them to go into low batch probably in the next several months because they come with a higher NRD,
Right.
and everybody's been pinching pennies, including me. So moving forward, you know, even Anthony knows it too. Expect to see low batch warnings with rando figures. That's the norm. This is the byproduct of everybody unloading their Marvel figures at cost or below retail. This is where we're at right now.
Everyone is selling out Marvel.
Mhm.
I see that every day.
So this is the norm. This is the norm.
well, even over there in China, right? You said people are more, they collect different, right? It's more like they will shuffle their collections a lot.
In China,
Yeah, Joel, yeah, because you were
No,
saying.
I'm talking about Facebook groups. I'm not talking about here. I'm saying that
I
see
know.
on
I meant
Facebook groups, everyone selling out Marvel.
Oh yeah, all in droves every day, day after day. But I remember a while ago you were telling me it's a little different where you are, where people just kind of sometimes will just completely uproot all their stuff and buy
completely.
a bunch of new stuff and then uproot that and do it again.
Cycles. It's like cycles. But they are very devoted to Iron Man here. Everyone that collects Hot Toys, they are crazy about Iron Man. That's why the Iron Man here always sell really very well.
Always. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
Even my sources in Hong Kong, they tell me all the time they have no problem in Hong Kong selling Iron Man. Doesn't matter what we think here. Doesn't matter. Oh, no one, we're selling Marvel, great. We're, you know, the U.S. is purging, but not over there. You know? Remember, there's different markets. There's a European market. There's the Australian market. They're going through their own drama down there, down under, and then we have ours. And then Asia, and then Asia is a huge. It's China.
And it's also a thing. China, it's going through economic situations. Let's say that collectors are tapping out a bit. It's not as crazy as it was before. So
that's true.
And Easy yesterday was saying that the Hot Toys don't care about China, but I think they care about China market a lot.
Of course they do.
Of course they do, dude. It's China, like that's like I don't agree with that one, unfortunately.
I think
they have to care.
Collectors here are going a bit, are tapping out a bit too, because the economy is not as it was before. And
True.
It's happening everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, everywhere. So I mean, there's that problem, which I think is going to have a big effect on them. I don't know if it's. I think Hot Toys is probably okay. I'm just assuming. I think if anybody's hurting, it's Sideshow more, but only because they're probably sitting on so much stock.
They're probably crawling through like a Jeffries tube to get through the back of their warehouse. That's how probably cramped it is. Can you imagine? I mean, the clue that was given to us is that they're still finding anomalies, right? Like really, the Mud Trooper after a couple of years. That right there is your evidence that you can kind of speculate, you know, with an educated guess that, oh my God, they're still finding crap here. That's how packed it is. That's why if anybody. This is one of the I joke with the guys over at Geeking Out. I go, does anybody understand the gravity of a 1/6 vehicle, right? And they didn't. Nobody on that panel had purchased one or at that point in time owned a 1/6 scale vehicle. And the whole point of that, do you own one, Desi?
Not really, not of that size. Just the smaller ones. I've got a.
And that was the lesson, because when you take that leap of faith and you purchase a 1/6 vehicle and you see that giant ass box arrive at your home, then you're stuck with two situations. A, where are you going to display your masterpiece? And then second, do you keep that box or do you store that box? And that's really an important lesson, because if you, at that point in time, you've been collecting Hot Toys to a certain point, and you already have built a habit of saving your Hot Toy boxes. Now you have a monstrosity box, and you're having an anxiety attack. I promise you, everybody gets an anxiety attack when they get that 1/6, because you're in love with the vehicle, and now you're like, where do I store this box? And that was pretty much what I was trying to kind of point out. Like, you know, speaking from experience, you know, does anybody on a 1/6 scale vehicle, do they understand what it is to get it, to birth it, to display it, to store it, to power it, it's a whole experience.
I completely agree, and I think that's the 1/6 scale vehicle. Even you cannot just throw that into a corner. It will not look good. You need to have a proper display to have the vehicles.
Yeah.
And not only the display, and then is the storage. For example, my 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗍, the Batmobile, the box is huge. There's a 1.5 meter box. If you don't have space to store that,
So then what do you do? And then if you're technically a down low flipper, right? Well, I really love this, and then you're secretly unloading your shit in 6 to 7 months. What do you do with that box? Did you throw it? Well, I'm going to keep the box. Okay. Well, where are you going to store it? You're going to store it in your garage or remote storage? You're going to pay for remote storage for this thing? Are you going to store it in your room? And they're like, oh, I don't want it anymore. I'm going to. So then, 1/6 scale vehicles appreciate in value a lot slower than a 1/6 scale figure for the most part.
Time, right?
They take a lot longer to simmer. But, you know, when they blow up, they eventually blow up. But you're stuck at that time with this large box. And I can tell you the box situation is it's
a nightmare.
It is.
I'll be able to say it, Desi. You know, right?
Yeah, I only have a couple of speeders in 1/6 scale, but I've got 1/3 scale statues. You know,
there you go.
One statue will have 2 huge boxes for one statue, and I've got remote storage, and that's a pain. You know, I'm paying for remote storage just to keep boxes, and the Hot Toys boxes are the least of my concerns. It's those statue boxes that really take up all the space, and it's the same thing with 1/6 scale vehicles. Like those boxes are huge. I've seen the box for the Tumbler and for the '89 Batmobile in person at Secret Base when I've visited there. You know, they're absolutely huge.
Yeah. And to Joel's point too, it's that, okay, you have to find an area for the boxes, depending on what you're doing, right? But you know, when you bring out a Batmobile of any kind or a DeLorean or something, Ecto-1, whatever, large vehicles, okay, if they're yay big, right, if they're that long, that's not an acceptable length for your display either. Right? So you need to have a nice display, like Joel was saying. So
your vehicles will never fit your cabinet where you store your figures. You need to have a proper display for the vehicles only. And for that display, you need space, right? And comes space again, because you need space for that display for the vehicle. So that's a lot to consider before pre-order a vehicle, really. Before I got my Batmobile, I was thinking, really, what do I do with this? Where can I store it? Because it's easy to get it and then arrive home and then let it in the box, or just throw it in the corner in the floor. No, that's a vehicle, needs a proper display, or else it will just looks like a cheap toy, right?
Right, just some shit sitting there on the shelf or the floor that's you're not giving it the respect, in my opinion, that it warrants, right? Because they're really impressive, and if you can't, then it's like, why buy it?
Exactly. And I still have my boxes for my Ecto-1 and my DeLoreans. I never intend to sell the vehicles, but especially with like the Back to the Future DeLorean, it's such a beautiful art box. So is the actual Ecto-1 box too. But it's the Ecto-1.
No, the Ecto-1
luckily, I was able to cram it.
Than the '89
It's huge. And
that's what Carlos is saying right here. Yeah, it's a huge bitch. Like,
and if you see the hole right here, I had to scrape it because it's in the attic. I was able to just push it up there. But that's one of my rules. I cannot do a remote storage. I did it years ago, and it just the math just unfortunately did not add up. Because even if you decide to sell the vehicle, you still have to account for the cost for storing the boxes or anything like that. It still comes out of that. So that was kind of like the thing that I had brought up when I was on the Geeking Out channel, because they all looked at me like deer in headlights. So you don't understand it's the whole situation. You don't have any 1/6 scale vehicles, do you, Anthony?
Just the speeders right now.
Just the speeders. All right. So the speeders would not count. So it's the speeder box. It's like two.
It's large.
Yeah, it's large. It's like two hot toy boxes side to side.
It's a 2-pack around.
Yeah, it's like a 2-pack, right? It's on a horizontal and so forth. But you'll get to share your experiences because I know you'll be getting the DeLorean Mark II.
DeLorean's definitely coming. Well, remember I also had third scale statues too, and I had the Mythos statues, and those boxes are just like you got to So
the DeLorean can fit in the cabinet on your back.
Yeah, well, I think so. I should hope so.
Yeah,
it's 3 feet. It's so, my cabinets are 3 feet wide. So
that's
what is that? 2.5 meters.
That's how big I'm looking at the DeLorean. That's how big the box would be. It'd be one of those cubicles, like that top shelf.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be. Yeah. So I mean, the depth is, it's like 18 or 22 inches.
I think you are fine.
Deep. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be all right. If not, I got Moji cases coming too.
It's a very cool learning experience as a toy collector when you do take the plunge. That way you understand, because the first couple of years when I was collecting hot toys, I had the Bat tumbler, and I had in this room, existing room, it was just detox, and I can tell you right now, the tumbler was a pain in the butt to display. It just was. I had it displayed on a poker table. The poker table just took up a lot of space horizontally. It was a pain in the butt. Because of the black matte finish, it collected dust very quickly. So you had to continually dust it. It was not a fun vehicle. My Christopher Nolan Batman didn't even fit properly. In fact, I broke one of the. I damaged something trying to fit it there. You can even sit on the floor and play with it. It didn't roll properly. I don't know if the new one they improved it, but the way the whole architect of the vehicle, it would not roll like a Hot Wheel. Only the actual DeLorean could do that. So it was all of those situations that I'm like, all right. So when they brought the tumbler back, I'm like, really? I go, I guess. I mean, if you're a Bat fanatic and you have, and then when I see people on the panels talk about, I'm going to get the tumbler, and all I see in their background is just detox. I'm like, oh, you're gonna.
Well, that's not gonna. Yeah, they're gonna definitely need to have a different.
I know some people, they store the vehicles on the top of the detox. Many people does that.
But it won't fit.
Would be weight, right?
I wouldn't do it, but
the tumbler, the wheels will just hang up. That's why I don't have a tumbler. Like the wheels will hang off the side of the detox. It's not wide enough.
It won't fit. It's too wide. Yeah, it takes up a lot of volume horizontally. So you would need. I had it in the room on like a $40 poker table exposed to the elements. So.
Okay. See, I haven't had a vehicle yet that large, but I feel like with my cases, the DeLorean's going to fit.
Yeah, even King Zach, one of his early reviews. He didn't know what to do with his tumbler. He just had it on a table. So I'm pretty sure, and now he still has his tumbler. I'm pretty sure it's still sitting on that table. He just would occasionally use like an air gun and just dust it off. No, it's just, that's the thing. That was the whole idea. That was the evolution for me. I'm like, I need airtight cases. I don't want to build shit. I'll take the leap of faith with the Moji cases, and my biggest complaint with Moji cases is that they're just friggin' expensive. So
Moji cases is an interesting topic, because can you imagine if you are like a new collector and you just go, okay, I want Moji cases for my collection. Maybe you tap out of collecting after a year or so, and then you end up in your home with expensive Moji cases all empty because you don't collect anymore.
Well,
because I've seen many people jumping into the Moji cases, and I'm not sure.
Here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. I look at it, if you're gonna start collecting, if you're new to collecting 6-scale figures,
go with the elves.
Right? Most people, they lose their virginity, right? With DTOFs. That's how you start breaking yourself in. You're like, okay, I've got, you see it all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. We've all had them. I mean, I still have DTOFs in the living room, right? Or if you're well off and you know this is something that you really like in hindsight, I would have ordered 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases a while back. You know, I knew the time was coming, you know, when I built these, you know, back in the day, but I thought, you know, 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 case, yeah, I look at it, I'm like, oh God, it's like a year and a half. It's like a hot toy, right? And on top of it, my problem is I think ahead way too much. So I'm like, well, I'm not just gonna get a thing. I mean, I need to get a whole get up. I need 9 or 12 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases all here at once. And then the problem is, you know, your minds change or you pick up more things. And then by the time you're 6 months into your order, right, you're like, damn it, dude, I wish I would have got these instead, this other 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 style, because now this just dropped. Like the freaking the ATRT, well, it's not announced yet, but you know, for example.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's right there. That little chicken walker, that's gonna be an eye opener for a lot of collectors who are using, because it will fit inside a DTOF, but it's gonna kill a lot of that volume inside the DTOF because you'll have to remove a shelf. So,
but if you're into it, right? If you know that you're gonna be into it and you have the money, I would say get 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases like right away. I don't know if that's good advice, but
or do your own shelves.
Or do your own shelves, yeah. Do your own shelves.
Custom cabinets.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I built mine, because I was looking at 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases a while back, and then I was like, of course I do have more coming now. Finally. So I need them for all my Star Trek stuff. But you know, I was looking into that and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna build my own stuff. Because when I build my own stuff, I told a lot of people that as soon as you buy your own shelf, yeah, it's not pretty, right? It's not all set up and flashy. But you know what? You can build a shelf in like 10 minutes and you have a shelf ready to go, like, you know, at that point. And then if you want to, you know, take your time and add a, you know, do some acrylic or whatever and, you know, put in some lights. But the point is like, if you're like, dude, I really need the space, I'm gonna go buy this right now, today. I'll go to Home Depot, set it up, be done in an hour, and I have a shelf ready to go. Like right now, not like a year and a half from now. And then, you know, of course, you know, you take your time. And like, I didn't build my stuff overnight. I did it slowly. Because at least at that point, I was like, I need space and I need space now. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean go ahead.
I'm okay with my DTOFs. I have 15 DTOFs that I got slowly over the course of 10 years, you know, and if I had to do it all over again, Anthony, I think I agree with you. I'd probably go with 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases. But for now, like, it doesn't really bother me too much. Yeah, I can't own a tumbler. I've got one big space in front of my desk you can't see right here that's I'm leaving open for that snow speeder, right, which I have to build a display for, but I'm all right. But yeah, starting over in 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases, you know, or your own shelves, like you just said. Go to Home Depot, get a shelf, build it. You're done in an hour, and then slowly start adding.
What if I built these like 2-3 years ago? People keep thinking they're 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases. I was like, no, I built my own. I should have made a damn video, because now everybody else is making videos. They're like, hey, look at his video. I'm like, it's not seeing what I've had. Like, but some people are like, oh, I thought they were 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases. I'm like, no. I just built it because it was, you know, like you said, when you know that you're in it and you're like, all right, I'm invested, I'm out of space, you know, granted, you know, 5-10 years ago, there weren't 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘 cases and DTOFs were not $100. So that's the other thing, right? They're a lot of money now. They're double the price.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, you know, I don't know how we got into
the other situation too is the way with the evolution of hot toys. If you have DTOFs, it's going to be extremely challenging to adapt to USB plugs. That is probably that's going to be the biggest nuisance. You're going to have to figure something out fast, because just going off of the pre-orders right now, 7 of them require USB. And I promise you that if I'm spending this money on these figures, they're going to be powered USB. And the USB lighting is it's all LED lights. It's low energy. You can keep it on for years. My Anakin, Darkside Anakin has been powered on for 2 years nonstop. Has not burnt out or anything. So these are low wattage USB plugs, and especially if they bring a situation with the iron suits. Well, actually, the Mark I 3.0 is going to be USB plugged. It'll be lit up with a USB. Yeah. All the new Jedis, all the new Star Wars, anybody is going to be wielding a lightsaber, it'll be USB plugged. Reva will be USB plugged. Darth Vader with the broken helmet will be USB plugged. Anakin will be not Anakin. Kenobi will be USB plugged. There's a few others, so it's all going to be USB plugs. So on top of the already existing cables running into a DTOF just to light it up, now you're going to have to figure out how to get a power source in there through the cracks. So yeah, I mean, you can.
That's a good point, though, and that's a good point, right? Because I mean, okay, so let's just say you're collecting Star Wars, right? Let's not include Marvel.
Yeah, 7, and I'm just like, why wouldn't you want it?
Right? How are you? I mean, is that something that you've considered too, Desi? I mean,
yeah,
with your DTOF, like.
That's why if I'm starting from scratch, I'm doing Seadra cases, and I've always said in the future I'm going to have to switch at one point. But yeah, it's a pain to have to. I have to move the DTOF forward. I've done it already because I have the CCFL sabers, right? So I have to run the wire at each shelf level and then attach it, kind of hide it behind. It becomes a pain. Like it becomes more a pain than it's worth, especially if I have to start all over again. But since I already have them, like to try to get rid of the DTOFs and then slowly bring in, and I'm kind of like you, Anthony, where I've already done the calculation. How much is it going to cost me to replace everything all at once with Seadra cases? Because I don't want to do like a quarter or half and half. I want to do it all in one go. So, and it's going to be
and you're crafty too.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, that's your whole channel.
I didn't even think about that. That's right. Yeah.
It's a pain. Like I lit them all up. The CCFLs, like. Look, man, if you want to go at it cheap, it's pretty good. DTOFs are still good, even at $100. But like, I don't recommend it. I recommend if you're going to start, go Seadra cases. It's just going to be so much easier. You're going to have more space inside the display.
Or even
eventually,
I would even if you're handy, I would even recommend building your own. If you're handy though, if you're not, then look at all the because I get it. Seadra cases are expensive, but I've seen those videos from the gentleman. That's a lot of freaking work. I don't have time for that.
It is.
I don't. I'm sorry. My time's a little bit too valuable.
it took me a while, and I
don't have time for that.
I'm gonna agree with Doc, man. I've been building PCs for goddamn 30 years, man. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Cable management, dude, is where he discovered the art of Zen. Yes. You're right, man. Like my computer right here. I'm gonna have to show you a picture, Doc. I call it the mini fridge, bro. And it may have taken me an hour or so to build my rig, but it probably took me about as long, I'd say, just doing my cable management. Because you could just slap it all in there, but then no, I can't do it. I don't want to see. I want to see as little wire as possible, right? So and that's the thing with the DTOFs, man. It's such a pain in the ass. That's why I bought Luke lights. All mine are Luke lights out there, which are badass. And I got them like you can't even tell when you go look at the DTOFs, right? You can't tell. It's all super clean. The wires match the poles and the DTOF, the same color. Like I was like, okay, cool, man. They're like clear, and then the zip ties are that gray color. You know what I'm talking about? So like, if I'm like, okay, cool, I got that. Then if all of a sudden I'm getting figures with lightsabers. Or Iron Man's, with USB, same thing. DTOFs are all clear. You know damn well you're going to get like some shitty black USB cable. And then you're going to probably need an extension cord because Hot Toys is not going to give you like a 6-foot cord with your Luke Skywalker or whatever, right? So that's something I think,
you have to do some splicing. Like the CCFL sabers, like they're all spliced, and that's how I get a cable that long that's behind one of the poles and the DTOFs. It's I get it. It's more trouble than it's worth. And if you're doing that amount of work, you might as well build your own shelf.
That's probably one of the things I learned that I future prepped back in 2018 and 19. I just, regardless if I had anything, I added USB plugs everywhere, regardless, because once you set a Seadra case in a certain position, it's kind of like adamantium. It's not going to move unless you're ready to move out of and remove everything out. So I was like, wow, like my future proofing actually paid off because 7 of these figures are all going to be USB plugged. I'm like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to plug these things in. Hell yeah. It's one of the things I've always lobbied for the years. And with the Iron Man Mark 1 or any future Iron suits, if they include the USB technology, absolutely, because it looks great. Light just brings things to life.
Oh, it totally does. And I don't have much. Well, obviously my lights that I built, but I've got my Death Star panels lit up. My light box is lit up. You can't see it right now because Hoth Leia is kind of standing on this angle, but the Empire Strikes Back Vader, that base is lit up constantly, doing its blinking lights. Some of these Terminator up here that, their bases have lights. Those are lit. It's hard to tell here on camera, but I have those all plugged in, and then they're all plugged into smart plugs. So I just use my app on my phone. I just turn, everything on, turn everything off. I love using the fake AA, AAA battery, power outlets. So, and that's how I had thought about all that. And that's why it's, for me, you don't think about it, man, really, when you have this setup. And that's the point, right? So I tried to sympathize with people and think about it, but it's like something came out and I was like, oh shit, yeah, dude, this thing lights up. I'm stoked because I already have it set up, right? You know what I mean? I have everything in line. I've got USB hubs, all that good stuff, and you can't see it. I mean, even in my room, you can't really see it. When I walk past my collection, I got it pretty well hidden, stuff like that. And I feel like you guys are right. That's the direction we're going.
Yeah.
In 5 years from now, everything's going to be USB.
Not even 5 years. Yeah.
Or something.
12 months. 7 figures are going to require USB.
Oh yeah, I just mean I'm just thinking ahead. Yeah,
and it'll be everything. Yeah, because aren't the button cell batteries banned?
So the button cell batteries are banned in Australia, and I guess it's the working mechanisms that are involved into doing it as well. So, for example, if you have something that has batteries in it, that's obviously a no-go. But it's also, there's something with the law about meeting compliance with the actual the structuring of it, the housing of the batteries and all that. Even if there's no batteries in there, they're like, no, because some people are like, well, why don't you just do batteries not included? But I guess something with Australia, they're like, no, you have to modify the figure or something before they'll
the housing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Desi. So it's, and then they're trying to do that here in the States too. Because, I got apparently.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why things shouldn't run on USB.
No, it shouldn't. But I guess a lot of kids look at the batteries, think that's like shiny candy, and they just eat it. And
the problem.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. So unless they do age restrictions or something. Right, you must be 14 and up to buy Hot Toys or something, but they're in everything, right? They're in remotes, they're in all sorts of household appliances. Those sell batteries. So I think overall it's good. Get rid of them. We don't need them, like you said.
Expensive, nuisance, just waste more. So.
Well, and with Hot Toys too. Do you guys really use your batteries?
I do.
Not at all.
You do?
I don't use.
I don't use them. All my suits. But I had to though because
you use the soap reactors and stuff too, right?
I only have the soap reactor for the Hulkbuster that I've had on behind me, powered on, because it looks cool, and it looks cool having all these cables and running out of him and having Bruce Banner service him. So my setup is Bruce Banner is working on him, and I never hid the soap reactor cables because to me it looked cool, and I've had my Hulkbuster on for years, and
right, because it looks like he's working on them. There's wires all hooked up, and
exactly, and no burnt out bulbs, nothing. It's just all LEDs, low watt, and work, and it just looks good.
I just mean in general. I mean, shit, it took me almost an hour to put in all my batteries into an Iron Man figure. I was like, screw this. And then they die in a day.
15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. And they just fizzled out. But I always plugged in all my suits just to make sure that there wasn't any.
Well, sure. That's different. That's what I mean. But one could say you would do that if it was USB. That's my point. Yeah. You're using external power, versus, using batteries. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, to have my Hall of Armor, power on with the suits at the same time. Oh man, that's a dream. I mean, I've seen collectors in Asia do kit bashes, but I've never gone that extra level. I've never wanted to do any of that where they're welding little parts and little micro, wires to the certain. Like no.
Yeah. Ecto, yeah, we did. We the first half of the stream we discussed a lot of the D23 trailers and stuff. If you want to backtrack on it before we wrap, or after we wrap, but yeah, do a lot of exciting stuff with D23. Then we kind of went off into the collector world. I mean, there's not much we can talk about really with the trailers, right? The trailers look cool. There's a lot of hopes and expectations with figures to come down the road, but yeah. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing all that stuff. And yeah, you guys are right. Like it's about time we hit him up USBs, and then people are just gonna have to start really. It sucks because now it was not really so much that case though, right? With collecting displays, now I think everybody has to really focus more. They have to have more dedication to their displays now more than before.
I mean, if you're gonna invest in Kenobi and then the broken, Anakin, Darth Vader from the Kenobi show, you're gonna want those two bad boys lit up. That's how you're gonna want that set up. So they're wielding USB lightsabers. I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. I'm assuming the cables or if it's through the hand runner. But yeah, if I'm gonna buy those guys, I absolutely want those lit up. Yep. Yeah,
I agree. You were saying, Joel? Sorry.
No, I was actually checking a Hot Toys box, and they do write that is intended for 15-year-olds and up.
Yeah, I thought they did.
It's a collectors. So as long as you're above 12, you're okay.
But if they enact
15, they say 15 and up.
As long it's usually 12 or 14, right? So as long as you're above, they write above 12 or 14, they technically do not have to comply with safety testing for toys. However, if that, you can easily fight that in court, right? If something happens to your kid, because it's a freaking toy. They could say, yeah, it says 14 plus, 12 plus, but clearly it's a toy. That's why I gave it to my child. So most companies that will produce toys that are collector's items, like Funko Pops, right? They'll, even though it might say 12 plus, whatever you might think of, most companies will still test and comply with safety standards for kids under 12.
Okay.
Even though it's labeled 12 plus. And that's why you'll have like small parts or sharp edge warnings on Hot Toys. They don't technically have to have that because it's 12 plus or 14 plus, but they do it anyways.
No, that's
yeah, because you work in
that's my day
field,
job,
right?
He knows these.
No, that's a good point. I just want to bring this up real quick here. You're wondering, are the chances of getting the Shanghai exclusives, the Stealth Cap and Mark 46 in the US pretty low at this point? Trying to decide if I should wait or whether Hong Kong reseller is the only option. Yeah, we were talking about that a bit earlier, and honestly, I mean, I don't know, but I think at this point, I don't think Sideshow's going to get them. I mean, what is that the general consensus here on the panel tonight? Like,
to get which ones? To get
the Mark 46 and the stealth suit cap, like.
Yeah, that's not coming. That's not coming here in the U.S. mainland. That's no.
I don't think.
The Chrome Stormtrooper. No. I mean, if you guys want to go out, I tell the audience that you really want it, I'm sure you can probably pick it up on the secondary market. But no, it doesn't do me. I'm not chasing those. Not for the inflated price. Not when I can. Because I'm already falling behind on certain characters, and there's a lot of Marvel and Star Wars characters that I want. So,
right, but as far as if that's your only option, yeah, that might be your only option.
Yeah,
and I don't want to risk sounding like FOMO on it, but I think the longer you wait, I don't know if the prices will go up or they'll just plateau at a certain point. Buying from a reseller, right? Like right now, I think they're $400 or $500 maybe. On average. Now, what happens a year from now? Does that price point go up, or does it just plateau at that point? I don't know. So, but I honestly don't think they're coming. And then they could drop too. They could even dip down and then they'll plateau at like a 350, 400. I don't know. But I think you're right. I don't think we're getting them in the US. So, but I mean, that's a good discussion, guys. We're hitting that 2-hour mark. I think we can probably wrap. I know it's getting late for some of you guys, and we're from all over. So, interesting discussions tonight. Desi, my man, thank you for coming through this evening. I know we can't catch you all the time, so I appreciate it when you can come.
No, thank you for the invite, man. It was a great panel. Honored to be here with all of you guys as usual. You know, please, guys, go subscribe to these channels. They're putting out great content. You know, and again, Anthony, thanks for having me here. Nothing on my channel that's new yet, so it'll be a little bit of time, but I'm working on stuff. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, me too. I want to see some more custom displays and cool tricks, man. Yeah, check out Desi, guys, if you haven't, because that's all he does on his channel. It's really cool. And you teach people how to do it too. It's not just you're showing the thing off. Like, yeah. So super badass. So go check out Desi if you haven't. His link's in the description too. Big Bretta, Joel, man, thank you for coming. I know it's what time is it over there for you?
Lunchtime now. It's 12:30.
Lunchtime. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're able to make it tonight, man. What's going on with you, bro?
Same thing. Some reviews coming up. But yeah, it was nice streaming today here with you. It's talking other stuff than only announcements and releases. It's good to talk about a bit of displays and other parts of collecting. It's always good. But yeah, thank you for having me. It was amazing. Really, really good stream, and it's always good to listen. I like to listen to Nobi, you know. I always like to listen his perspective because it's very
cynical,
unique.
Yeah.
I would say unique.
If anything drops Monday over in Hong Kong, I'll reach out to you, Brett. I'll bring you on. For Midnight Run. I can't believe. I mean, I'm already, my anxiety levels are high as to why aren't they releasing crap? Stop announcing shit and start releasing.
Did you saw that the repainted Boba Fett is in the hands of
that's what I was
US and is not released in Hong Kong?
We jumped all over the track. I know we're gone over. I know you got to go, Brett, but yeah, we should.
I was going to talk about that
tomorrow. What's that?
Oh, I was just saying that was supposed to be tonight's discussion.
Yeah,
I wanted to get really deep into that, and then all this D23 hit. So I was like, well, that's what people are going to want to be talking about. But you're right, and I think next Saturday we are going to talk about that 100%. Because I mean, I'll just say it quickly because Brett brought it up at the same point. That Fett is already shipping. We don't have blogger photos. We don't have an official Hot Toys, Facebook announcement, release announcement. I'm wondering what things are going to be happening in the future if this is to combat the resellers.
Mm-hmm.
So
combat resellers and combat flakeouts.
Yeah,
and cancellations.
Oh yeah, this is another counterattack, man. I think they're spearheading something. That's my theory. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, I'm going to talk about it next Saturday. But check out Big Bretta too if you guys have not, man.
Thank you.
Doing awesome reviews, lots of third-party reviews. I love it, man. And of course, you're always welcome here, man. I love when we can all meet up. Because we cannot always meet up every week, guys. That's how it is. And to Nobi, my man, you're not doing much, right? Just if something drops.
I just exist at this point, and I when the waters in the pool get stirred, I'll be summoned. I'll show up. No, I'm gonna probably try to do another unboxing, and I'm gonna be on standby for release. Hot Toys, they need to step it up. We need some releases. I like to discuss some releases. So if I do a midnight run tomorrow, I'll reach out to Brett. I'll bring him on.
Okay, sure.
It's like
it's a pleasure.
Yeah, because what did we get? I mean, what did we get announced or released?
The last one,
the repaint Boba. Yeah. And we're falling behind. We're falling behind bad. We're just there's a lot.
Was it that
words.
What did that trooper? Okay, the Chrome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That convention exclusive Spidey, that doesn't really count.
Right.
I don't even blink at that. I'm like, nope, doesn't concern us. So I don't even get attached to any of that. And all that exclusive. If it's not on pre-order, I don't care.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, there should be a lot. There should be a lot of releases, and we're approaching October, 3 months till the end of the year. And this is the scary part. This is when they all start balancing their.
You remember last year, guys, right?
Yeah.
You guys remember that, all right? I remember.
Crazy week.
Yeah, what the hell dropped? Was it Lando, Miles?
I think there were 7 in 1 week.
There was a shitload, dude, in October.
Yeah. The 2-pack Boba Fett had just was.
Yep. Yeah. It was a lot. I don't remember, but I remember talking about it. I remember doing videos. And the previous October, 2020, was the same. Remember that? Because it always happens like January, February is kind of like, I would say December to January to February is kind of steady pace. And then the Chinese New Year hits, and then February and March is pretty dead. We get a little boost in April, May, summer showcase events. It dips down, and then that whole like October, November, December's that's that next hill. So I feel like getting too old for this shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but anyway, guys, I think we're gonna wrap. What's going on with me? Obviously, next Saturday. I am doing a giveaway next Saturday. I think you guys know in the chat. If you don't, I'm gonna make an announcement. I want you to go to Brother Cousin's channel, go comment on his cable review, and go to El Profesoro's channel and comment on his Arena Fett review. 2 things, super easy. Go subscribe, go comment, tell them something, give them some kind words, whatever. Trying to help these guys out. And then next week, I will be giving away a Dark Trooper to somebody. Those comments. So I'll give some more details. I'm also going to post it in my Facebook group if you guys haven't. 6 Scale Mafia on Facebook. That's where I share a lot of stuff as well and upcoming events. So that's it, though. I think unless something drops, we'll have a discussion sometime this week. And I look forward to seeing all this Star Wars and Marvel stuff, man. But if you think we're in a problem now, wait till all those shows come out, man. If you want to talk about a storm, that can be a lot of figures. So thank you again, everybody. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you guys next week. If I can end my stream. Because I lag.